Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. Can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Listen online, the website that rocks, KMOD.com. Past shows are available on iTunes. Search under BMMS. Listen with your cell phone. Get the iHeartRadio app, available from the App Store of your cell phone provider. More on that at iHeartRadio.com. And we're on Facebook. Facebook.com/BMMS69. That's where you can hang out with us each and every day. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Well, good morning.
We've got tickets that we're going to give away to Rocklahoma. Of course, Labor Day weekend. They've announced the daily lineups. Look at that at KMOD.com. We're going to see what Lindsay wants to talk about. The Tulsa Drillers have big news. We'll see what that's about when Justin's in. And we got our top 5 songs. Top 5 songs about truckers from listener Thankful for Truckers.
Hooray!
And I'll be honest, I didn't realize how much I like trucker music.
I didn't realize how much was out there.
Deep bench. So we'll get to that coming up in a little bit. Some people make an argument that rich people should give back in some capacity. They say that you should donate some into the community. Maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't. I have no idea. But the story I'm going to tell you would be an argument why people believe that.
Okay.
Because remember that ship that went down? They were trying to go down to the Titanic and it imploded.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was made out of like a joystick and some rubber glue and Flex Seal.
Right. Old propane tank.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some other billionaires are like, we can do it better. Which I'm saying, good, go. They saw this guy make it, and he was like, the part that's crazy is they have audio of him going, I want to be a trailblazer. This is the guy that took all those people down and imploded and died. And he didn't have it checked to make sure it was safe. And they have interviews with him going, I want to be a trailblazer. I want to be the guy that set the precedent.
He did.
Hold on. And again, keep in mind, he used a joystick, which is, I'm sure it's fine. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like safe.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it implodes. And now these other billionaires are like, we can do it. And if you are a bad actor and you make a statement like, I want to be a trailblazer, now they have you. What if John Wilkes Booth would have been like, I want to be a trailblazer. I want people to look up to me.
Mm-hmm.
Which people probably do and did.
Right.
Even though he shot the president.
Mm-hmm.
So just because someone says that and then people do it doesn't make it a good thing. But then, put that conversation aside, how this person's a billionaire, they're the 732nd richest person in the world, I have no idea, which, by the way, I'd gladly be 733rd.
Right.
He wants to replicate the Titanic and go on the same path. Now, what are the chances? I hear you. He even said, let's see if I got it because I want to make sure he says, this one will be better. Keep in mind, when they built the Titanic, and its all big selling point was it's
unsinkable.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. So when you say things like that, especially in something that's got the history of, what are you doing? You can't go, hey, you know the Titanic? We're doing it the exact same.
Right. But to be fair, though, I mean, times have changed and building materials have changed and engineering has changed. So this guy may have a shot at doing the same thing and make it better. Think about all the cruise ships that haven't sank since the
100%. 100%.
And they're bigger.
Right,
They're
right.
much
Oh my
bigger.
gosh, they're
Right.
skyscrapers in the water.
Right.
100%. I could be wrong. I don't know much about nautical shipbuilding.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess they didn't go with the blueprints of the Titanic.
No.
Oh, God, I hope not. But this guy wants to, from what I'm hearing. He
Yeah.
wants to do the exact same.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, like, again, though, you could use the exact same blueprints, just different building materials, stronger metals, something to that effect.
The right amount of floating devices. The
But then it's not a replica.
Right. I mean, it's a remake. It's a remake. You know, the same blueprints, same Titanic, just different materials, different, I guess, navigational electronics and stuff like that. You know, easier to spot icebergs, whatever.
Again, you can't have any technology on it. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it's not a replica. And let's just say he builds a better one.
Right.
And I get some of us drive through the same intersection we haven't had an accident in, but I don't know if that's a fair comparison. Do you drive through the same intersection that killed your best friend or your partner?
I mean, I would, especially if it's on the way to work. I mean, sometimes you just can't
unavoidable.
avoid things.
Right.
You know that, yeah. But let's talk about, you can't avoid that. So this would be luxury. You don't have to go by the icebergs to get to America.
Now, that's another thing, though. I mean, is he trying to do the exact same route?
Yes.
Okay, so he's just trying to replay everything exactly as it was.
And I don't know if I have wanted to maybe pray more that it succumbs to the same fate. I don't want all those people to die.
All right.
However, what are you doing tempting fate like that?
I'm a believer in natural selection, man.
Oh, so am I.
You know, it's like those guys in the submarine. Y'all dumbasses brought it upon yourselves. You know, and same way with this one. You want it, have at it. Just know that things could go horribly wrong at any point in time.
Do you see natural selection as something that you see as after the fact?
No, I can sometimes see it like in the beginning, right? Like when they're like, hey, we're going to go down there and take a look at the Titanic that is at the bottom of the ocean. I knew way ahead of time that this is not going to pan out very
Plenty of
well.
people have done it, though. It's not like they were the first ones.
Right. But, I mean, those other submersibles that were used were built for the pressure that it will take on.
Hey, so was this one.
I bet it was.
I am confident that man believed it was built for that.
In his mind, yeah, sure.
I'm confident he believed someone who had a track record of being right multiple times over had no reason to not believe he was right this time.
Right.
I'll say that again because I think that's a really important distinction about human beings. I'm confident this man who was right about a lot of things that made him a billionaire had all the confidence that he was right about it this time.
Yeah.
It don't matter if you're Anderson Silva. It don't matter if you're Mark McGuire. It don't matter if you're Mike Tyson. It don't matter if you're the 700th. Yeah, everybody, D-Day comes.
Right.
Everybody will fall. So to be out there just flapping in the wind, swinging it around,
Right.
it's bizarre to me.
Somebody said you should go down the rabbit hole of the Titanic never sank. We kind of talked about that.
We have.
How it was an insurance old swapperoo.
Yeah, there's another ship. I'm forgetting the name of it right now.
Olympic or something like that, maybe?
Maybe. Yeah, we did spend some time on that and how there was this other ship and trying to recoup money and the shell game of insurance that rich people play with insurance policies. Except that there were all these really important people on the ship is the only part. I get it if the Corbin and the Gimpies and the Lindsays of the world are on a ship.
Right.
But when you have some of the biggest worldly minds at the time.
Right, you're throwing Musk and Bezos and Gates, a couple of political figures. Yeah, that's kind of like where that's at.
You could make the argument because of the Titanic, they don't let those people all get together in one room.
Right, same reason that presidents don't ride around in convertibles anymore.
Right.
Or go to theaters in a wide open space with no security.
Right. The lessons we have learned through history.
Hey, every time, this is the really hardest part about catastrophes that happen, is that every time that happens, we learn a way not to do something.
Right. That's the thing about learning. Something goes horribly wrong, you figure out, well, that was bad, and how to not do that again. Sometimes it takes a presidential head.
Getting blown off, yes.
Yes.
Or not.
Or not, whatever.
Missing. But the number of times, I'm sure the confidence level of the security detail, of the advisors to Kennedy felt like it was all good.
Right.
To go in an open car down the road.
The people love you. They would love to see you. How can they see you if you're looking out the back window with your head pressed against the glass? Hi. Like a kid blowing their lips and cheeks up on the window. Get out of here.
Yeah, I'm sure the confidence level was high. You're good, Mr. President.
Somebody was high.
Wave away.
Right.
Think it's okay to wear this pink dress? Sure. What would spill on it?
Fine.
Only your husband's thoughts.
That's it. Ooh, third grade.
Who's this? Who's this woman? Yeah. And keep in mind, there was also a point, like the conversations afterwards of the president, like when they're like, all right, we got to put him in a closed vehicle.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So we make the closed vehicle. We're like, well, all right, we got to put some steel doors on it. Okay, yeah, no, that's probably a good idea. We'd hate for a bomb to go off.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, okay, all right, so we need to make the doors even thicker. We need a decoy car.
Right. Right.
Oh, we need an advance team to seal manhole covers. Oh, we have to stop traffic on the highway.
Yeah.
In both directions.
Really, really DEF and XYZ the entire thing after that.
You can't have it again.
No.
You cannot have that happen again. It would be fiscally detrimental.
Oh, yeah. These dumbasses didn't learn their lesson the first time. Psh, silly Americans.
Now there's no course that's too far. You're like, yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of like how we felt on September 12th.
Right.
2001,
right,
to how we feel on September 12th, 2023, right?
Absolutely.
On the 12th, you're like, whatever, tanks,
right,
at the airport. And now you're like, they're checking me. This guy had bullets in his bag. It's not fair.
Remember what happened last time? They didn't do a thorough check about that.
I can't have any water on the. Yeah. I got to take my shoes off. Yeah, there's a guy with a bomb in his shoe.
Right. Underwear bombs and all kinds of stuff. Right.
A guy had a bomb in his underwear.
Yes.
You should be glad you don't take your pants off. Show some goddamn gratitude.
Right. That just goes to show it could always be worse.
If they take you to a back room.
Nah, you don't get undressed. You don't get naked.
Oh.
I don't know. They don't fly.
Yeah. I don't either. Too much hassle.
Right.
Stop it.
Just drive there. Drive
Too
there.
costly.
Ain't nobody checking my underwear if I drive there.
No, but we'll see you next Tuesday.
Right.
Good luck driving to Jamaica.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me know how that beef jerky tastes in the middle of the Atlantic.
All right. That's all I need is one of those boat cars. You know, the cars that also go and turn into boats. I'm approaching Florida. I'll be in the Dominican in about a week and a half. Right.
I was watching Castaway, pieces of it, and it was the scene where he after 1,051 days, he decides, all right, I'll take a shot. Mm-hmm. And I was going, 1,051. How many days am I waiting to take my shot? 1,051? Mm-hmm. How many days you waiting for someone to come save you, right? That was just a thought I had. Mm-hmm. And then you go, all right, I got to take my chances, knowing good and well that he's got to get past that big set of waves to make it in, right?
Right.
Make it on his way.
Right.
And he had kind of attempted before with no success. And he's like, all right, I got to build this thing to blow me over a sail over the wave. And never doing it, he's like, not yet, Wilson, not yet. And then he does it, and then you're like, you can even see him go, all right, now what?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I got this far. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. And you're like, okay, well.
But hey, you never know unless you try.
100%. I was just reading this thing about we are guilty sometimes of going, what's the right thing? Like, how do I know this is the right thing? How do I know it's, when most of the time knowing it's the right thing is a hindsight thing.
Right.
Absolutely. I don't know if I would ever take my shot if I'm stranded on an island because I've seen way too many shark movies and that fear.
They just announced the shark capital of the world is in America, so I think you'd be good.
Wow.
Because we got the most sea worlds and aquariums?
No, like shark attacks happened on one of the cities in America on the coast.
Wow.
So it's because y'all throwing your tzatziki's in the water.
Right.
Blue tzatziki's.
Takis,
sure.
Tzatziki's is the Mediterranean restaurant across the street.
Oh, yeah. Huh, you're not kidding.
Going to Tulsa, get some tzatziki's, and I'm going to California. I want to feed the fish.
Seems out of the way. Hey.
But blue Takis, you can get those anywhere.
But they love hummus.
Right.
And that little cucumber salad thing. Have you had their pitas?
Delicious.
Who would have thought? Sharks like pita bread.
Who would have guessed? A lemony cucumber limey thing. Pretty good.
Right.
With the pita and some baba ganoush.
I'm so tired of eating humans. I've really got to straighten up my shark life now. I'm going to start eating healthier.
These hippie sharks
Right.
eating hummus.
Right. How do you know a shark's a vegetarian? It'll tell you.
Used to have all these sharp teeth. Now they're nothing because it's a vegetarian.
Right.
Beta sharks.
Right. Them and the manatees.
Gotta love a good manatee joke. All right.
Anytime you squeeze one in, man.
They just kind of swim their way in, don't they?
Move their way in. Because they're sea cows. Get it?
You would think that joke would be protected.
Oh.
We've got tickets to Rocklahoma we're going to give away. That is Labor Day weekend over in Pryor. We'll see what Lindsay wants to talk about. We got our top 5 songs. Top 5 songs about truckers we'll get to, and we'll see what the drillers are going on. They got some big news. We'll share that coming up.
Let's rock more of the Big Mad Morning.
Stinky way to die, yes.
I'm telling you.
That cheese ain't cheap either.
Right.
No.
It's like $1,000 a wheel.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we got crushed by what? A couple $100,000?
I mean, 1,600 rounds of cheese.
Yeah.
And I don't know, is that cheese ruined? Can you sell that cheese after it kills someone?
Not the ones on the very bottom of the pile,
Yeah,
I
but the
imagine.
ones on the top,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. Like, let's just say there's like a layer of cheese on top of the dude. Anything after that first layer, I think, is good to resell.
So, but does it add a value to it? Like, this cheese here, this cheese fell on a man, the cheesemaker, and killed him.
Right.
Oh, I can taste the sadness.
Yeah.
Right.
I can taste like the life transferred to him, from him to the cheese.
Just cheese smells like death.
Have you ever been into like a cheese house?
No, I don't think so. Mm-mm.
You would remember.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, a house made completely of cheese. I would.
Well, no, not like it's not like the butter exhibit at the fair.
Right.
No, like a fromage, like a place where they sell, like that's all they sell.
Worst smelling house ever.
They have sliding glass doors for each of the rooms of cheese because it's so pungent.
Oh, man. And you know how sometimes you work at places and you take that smell home with you? You know, like if you work at the dump or as trash man, you smell like garbage, you know? Imagine coming home and smelling like stinky foot cheese every day.
So I'm listening to this podcast and they're talking about your senses or whatever. And anyway, that you don't know what your house smells like, right? Is what
Right.
they talk. You have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And that to you, it smells good or nice or whatever, comfortable. But to a stranger, they may come in and go, oh, God, their house stinks.
Yeah.
Does that hold true with somebody who works in a cheese place? Like, they're like, this smells great. Hey, it smells a little off in here. No, it always smells off in here.
Yeah.
Because you have moldy milk.
I would think that like everywhere you go, everything smells like cheese. It's just permeated in your sinuses.
It's just burn in.
Yeah. So everywhere you go smells like cheese because like I don't know anything smells like. It just smells like Parmesan to me or whatever. Ugh.
Some cheeses, I actually like super stinky cheeses.
Right?
Yeah, the taste.
And the smell.
And the smell?
Yeah, I love it. I think it's amazing. It's amazing that we're eating it. It's amazing someone went, let's put this in my mouth.
Right.
That's like it's amazing just the historical factors around the process and to have super stinky cheese. And then there's cheese not stinky at all that also tastes great.
Right. Right.
So the smell plays no part in it.
Yeah.
I think cheese is amazing.
It's so good.
Yes, it is.
Things that garbage collectors find in the trash. And it made me think twice. Maybe in some instances, we actually could get into that line of work
Oh yeah.
because of the things that they have found in the trash. Reader's Digest did a poll from garbage collectors, and I was very surprised at the things that they found and the money that they have made on the things that they have found. For example, some of the things, of course, not so nice. This guy says that his sister actually worked in waste management for the past 10 years. And 3 years ago, she had a stop at a pretty big school district. And inside the district, they had found some big boxes in the trash. And it was full of computer equipment. And she was a huge techie. And apparently, in 3 of those huge boxes were vintage mechanical keyboards worth about $100 a piece. And she helped her with selling all of them, and they made $10,000 on reselling these vintage mechanical keyboards. That's something that we could get into, or I could.
I'm not going to the garbage.
I'm not going to take the time to resell how many? 10,000 keyboards?
Yeah, they got to drop them off at the post office. Like, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you got the time, it's worth the money. Former garbage man here used toilet paper all the time. Nothing worse than having a bag break and spew out mounds of used toilet paper like some type of unrighteous piñata.
This is a positive?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
It seems to be awfully common. You would find something like that in the trash.
Absolutely.
It's the trash.
Yeah, not everybody flushes their waste down the toilet, their paper.
He said, honestly, though, the most disgusting thing he ever saw working as a garbage man was a coworker who regularly ate and drank things that they found in the trash.
But
Yes. One man said, my dad did the recycling run. In the rich parts of town, people would throw away brand new, still in boxes, like wine glasses, shoes, and things like that. We would resell the stuff online and make a few $100 a month. That's pretty cool.
Throwing away brand new shoes.
Maybe they were the wrong size, and
Throwing
I don't have the time to return these. Trash them.
Sure.
I don't know. Not
they got
something
some-
I would ever do.
they were a gift, and maybe somebody's got some beef against that brand or whatever. Like, these Adidas are trash.
Or they only wore them a few times and they took really good care of them and they still looked new. Ashes of the deceased. One time we found someone's ashes in one of the standard plastic tubs funeral homes usually give out. His information was still on the side. Our management contacted his family using the information that was written on the side of the plastic tub, but the family said they threw the poor man out on purpose.
This text says an old coworker found a vintage collection of Playboy magazines, had them appraised, and was told it was worth about $20,000. That's something worth keeping.
Who would you go to for that?
You'd take it to the Antique Roadshow.
I'm just saying, like, who do you go to appraise Playboy magazines?
Right.
Yeah.
And if they're slightly used, does that depreciate their value?
I would think.
Like, this is great, but pages 39 and 40 are stuck together, so.
And also, if you find a Chiefs shirt and bring it to me, I'm going to be psyched and tell you how awesome its worth
Right.
is. I just, to me, that is the, when people are like, oh, these magazines are going to be worth so much money. Okay. I just don't buy into that.
Right.
If they're in mint condition.
So what? Again, so what? Who cares?
You got to find somebody who's going to pay that kind of price, whatever.
Exactly.
Drew Carey doll.
We see people on that stupid show, Pawn Stars, and they bring in super rare things.
Right.
And even they're like, it's not worth that much. So I don't know why a bunch of magazines would be worth $20,000. I think some of these stories get so over glamorized to make them sound sexy.
One junk removal company.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Let's go ahead and do news quickies. These are stories you may have missed in the news.
It's time for news quickies, world news, local news, and news that just makes you say, what the Now here's Corbin, Gimpy, and Lindsay with what's going on. News quickies from the Big Mad Morning Show at 97.5 KMOD.
Man bites at bar manager's finger over incident about dog leading to brawl. This happened down in Florida, where Kenneth Alvin Davis of Madeira Beach was taken to jail on Sunday afternoon after a group of his friends he was with became unruly when they were told they couldn't bring their dog into the Undertow Beach Bar. That's when deputies said that Davis lunged forward and he bit at the bar manager's finger. The manager defended himself and punched Davis right in the face, and that's when the brawl between Davis's group and the bar staff broke out. The incident was supposedly caught on video, but I couldn't find one, and neither did the news outlet. The fight was being broken up when law enforcement arrived, so I'm assuming it looked like a scene from Roadhouse. The bar manager did not want to file battery charges. He was taken to the Pinellas County Jail on a charge of disorderly intoxication.
Biting a finger. We've talked about that before. I think that is another level of crazy.
Right?
Yes.
To bite somebody's finger off.
Absolutely.
Just to bite somebody in general. Are we like 5 again? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, if you're in a tussle.
If you got to do's what you got to do's, I'll give you that. But just being an asshole and biting somebody's finger off.
Sure, if we're at the bar and you go, hey, MFer, and your finger pointing at me and I say, yeah, I agree. But if we're like, do the thing and I'm like,
Right.
It's a bar fight.
Yeah, it's okay. Kick them in the balls, throw dirt in their eyes, bite their fingers off, do what you got to do.
I am not somebody who believes there are rules in fighting. There just aren't.
I mean, yeah, I think there are.
Okay.
If you're fighting, you don't bring a gun to a fist fight. I think that's a good rule.
Okay.
That's probably the only one I have. You don't need weapons in a fist fight.
So let's just play that out.
Are your
Let's just play that out.
weapons.
You and I are in a fight. I bring a gun out.
Yeah.
You then go, time out. Them against the rules.
All right, what if you're getting the holy S kicked out of you, right? And you don't want to die. You got to protect yourself somehow. So you pull out your knife and you shank him in the side. Or you pull out your gun and you shoot him in the gut.
I mean, if you introduce a weapon,
Yeah.
we're now not in a brawl.
Right.
Right. It's a different kind of fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
To me, and I think this is where that line's been blurred. There's fighting like we're just whatever, two people letting out aggression. And then there's I want to end your life. And that is a whole other thing.
Right.
Right?
Definitely.
The fight that I've witnessed in bars and stuff like that, there was never of I'm going to end their life. Maybe it would have turned into that. I don't know. But
Yeah, there's the potential there for it.
sure.
For sure.
In school, there was never someone's life's going to end. It was just, hey, I'm trying to establish my hierarchy.
Yeah.
Dominance.
Yeah, that's all it was. So the rule of not bringing a gun to a fist fight feels very cliche and movie-esque.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's any rules when it comes to fighting.
No, do what you got to do. Man gets naked atop a Transformer statue. This comes out of Albuquerque.
Like which one?
Bumblebee, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's in Albuquerque, there's this giant bumblebee statue in front of this business, right?
Okay, you weren't kidding. Okay.
I ain't lying. And so Memorial Day, just the other day, like 5:30 in the morning, this 47-year-old dude named Hector Malero, decides he wants to go ahead and climb to the very top of the statue. So he does. And then the Albuquerque, I got to make sure that I get it right, the Albuquerque Community Safety Officers, not to be confused with the police, because they're not. The community safety officers helped the man down and then sent him to an emergency housing shelter. All right, everything seems to be all right at that point. Well, let's flash forward a couple of more hours, and like 8:30 in the morning, Hector decides it's a good idea to climb back on top of this statue. When they got the police, actual police, got several calls about this naked man on top of this statue. When they get there, they see a naked Hector. He's mostly naked. He's got a bunny suit around his ankles. So, mostly naked, but has the option to put clothes on at any point in time, regardless. They went ahead and got the fire department with their ladder truck. They eventually convinced the man to come down, and that's when they arrested him for indecent exposure.
Okay, couple things. One,
Yeah.
the Albuquerque Community Safety Team is their mental health response team.
Okay, that makes sense.
They're a part of the city police department.
Okay.
They're just not police officers.
Makes sense.
Two, the Bumblebee statue that got erected in 2023 in downtown Albuquerque replaced the Iron Man statue after someone crashed into it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's made from scrap metal and car parts, and there were already plans in place to replace Iron Man. So there was no love lost trying to make that, but it's not clear on why this statue exists on the corner in Albuquerque.
There's like, I think there's a business here in town that has a couple of like Transformer statues out in front of their business. You know, it just draws attention, gets people to stop by. Roadside attraction, I guess you could say.
Yeah, no, listen, if it's a marketing move,
Right.
sure, I get it. But if this looks like it's on the city street corner, not like in their front yard of their business.
Right. It's just a reason to drive through Albuquerque. Yeah. Hey, let's go check out this Bumblebee statue. And guy's like, okay, I'm going to take my bunny suit off mostly and climb to the top.
It's like when you go to Buc-ee's and people get their picture taken with the Bucky. I'm just like, it's so funny.
All right. Well, it's a big beaver.
Yes, it is. Police in Orange County seek chef who stabbed another chef in the neck.
All right.
When I first saw this headline, I was trying to figure out what restaurant would these two chefs be wanting to stab each other. So police in California are looking for the chef who stabbed another in the neck. The knife attack happened Monday night at the Flaming Buffet.
Hey.
Police say the two chefs got into some kind of argument which led to one of the chefs stabbing the other and then running away. The victim was rushed to the hospital and is expected to survive. They said it did nick an artery, but they do think that the will be okay. The owner who visited the guy in the hospital said he was sitting up. He seems to be all right, and that the argument came at the end of a shift on a tough Memorial Day week.
Terrible.
I am not replenishing the radishes.
Right.
You do it. Chefs.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they got the
mark.
jacket. They got the jacket.
They do wear the jackets.
And the hats. When you go to Bonanza as a kid, they always had the guys that would come out and replenish the Bananas Foster. Always had like the tall hats.
I mean, they could have been the ones grilling the steaks.
Yeah.
Is that a chef?
Closer to.
Okay. We've had these discussions before about titles, right? Like,
Yeah.
What is Gordon Ramsay?
He's a chef.
Okay. And
For
the guy
sure.
who also does the steak at the local buffet
Yeah.
is also a chef?
He could consider himself a chef, yes.
Feels like the wrong classification.
I mean, it's just different levels of chefness.
Yes.
Yeah. You got Gordon Ramsay, who is 5-star premier chef, and then you got the guy at the GC who's cooking up your steak, who is, an aspiring chef.
There you go.
Are you a chef if you are putting burgers together at the fast food restaurant?
Might as well. You're putting their food together.
Are you a chef if you are making a sandwich at the sub shop?
You're a sandwich chef.
Yeah. You're a sandwich artist.
Well, that's a marketing name that they give that person.
I think anybody who prepares any kind of food for consumption is considered a chef.
So if you check me out and get me my Zen nicotine packs and also make me a pizza in the back
Yes.
at the gas station.
You're a Casey chef. Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, if Boyardi could do it, anybody can do it.
I don't think Boyardi did both.
Well, I mean, he's a chef, and
But he was a Gordon Ramsay chef, from my understanding.
Yeah, once Gordon Ramsay starts canning up his, beef Wellington or whatever, then maybe, I don't know.
Got to go through some sort of training. You gotta
Okay.
get, some
Like, hey,
schooling.
here's where we keep the steaks. Here's where the lettuce is.
Right.
You build it this way. If you don't remember, look at the diagram that's imprinted on the table.
I think it's some sort of certificate, at least training.
Like from the health department?
School.
To simply answer the question,
Degree.
a chef is an individual who is trained to understand flavors, cooking techniques, create recipes from scratch with fresh ingredients, and have a high level of responsibility within a kitchen.
So I would argue then, based off that definition, the fast food person, the guy at the buffet, the person at the convenience store, the
Right.
sandwich person are not a chef. They are not a chef.
They would be called a cook. A cook is an individual who follows established recipes to prepare.
There we go.
But if he's in there testing your pizza, like making sure that the pepperoni's good,
That's not the
No,
same.
that's not the
That's
same.
quality control.
that's I'm hungry and it ain't lunchtime yet.
Oh, listen, and I'm grateful for the cooks of this world.
Yeah.
Very grateful. All these stories are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/BMMS69.
More.
Average people. There you go. The bottom of the class is coming to Jeopardy.
Right. Reruns.
Oh, I could see that, like on a game show network or something, playing the old episodes of the Jeopardy.
Oh, yeah.
Like the 80s and stuff like that. So we still get our taste of Alex Trebek and that wonderful stash.
And the fro, man.
Oh, yeah.
When the new season of Jeopardy premieres, there'll be some changes as the writer strike continues. During an interview on the Inside Jeopardy podcast, that's a thing. Executive producer Michael Davies revealed that the show will use a combination of material from our WGA writers wrote before the strike, which is still in the database, and redeployed material from multiple seasons of the show. The new season will also have a second chance tournament showcasing players from the 2020-2021 season. Look for new episodes of Jeopardy to premiere in September.
Okay.
This strike is causing a lot of problems. I didn't know the writers wrote the stuff for game shows.
I didn't either, but I guess it kind of makes sense. Somebody's got to write it.
Yeah. So what are they going to do? That's why CBS is going to have Survivor. They're going to have Survivor, Amazing Race and Big Brother on all at the same time.
Right, because those don't require writers.
Yes.
Huh.
Or actors.
Right, right.
So they will have them. That's never happened before. And we watch all three of those. And they're on so much. Mm-hmm. I don't know how we're going to keep up. That's a wife problem. Which makes it my problem. Almost half of Americans aren't eating enough blank. Almost half of Americans aren't eating enough blank.
Fruits and vegetables.
Green vegetables.
Red meat.
Oh, I think we are.
Pastries. Americans aren't eating enough pizza.
It's a movement I can get behind.
Italian pasta.
Let's see. Americans aren't eating enough tapioca
Okra.
pudding.
No one would ever say that. Americans say they love apples, oranges, and bananas, but 43% admit it to not eating enough fruit even once a day. According to a new survey, it finds that 52% confess to not eating veggies on the reg. To get the nutrients they need, they may be missing. 51% drink at least one smoothie a week.
Wow.
How often do you eat vegetables, Lindsay?
Vegetables daily.
Okay, say more.
With dinner every day. It's
Every day you have vegetables with dinner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like a portion of vegetables, not like, hey, the pasta has tomatoes in it.
No, we have a portion of either something. It's either a green bean. It's either Brussels sprouts, asparagus. Those are the three staples in our house.
Gimpy?
Yeah, same thing. Every day.
Every day.
Every day. Every day it's a protein, a meat of sorts. Okay, and then usually taters of some kinds, be it mashed potatoes or, scallop potatoes, something to that effect. So meat, protein, carb, and then a vegetable every day. That's the three things on my plate. I have recently, went to the store the other day. I was like, you know what? I haven't had fruit in a damn coon's age. So I went to town, got a bag of grapes and some watermelons and, other stuff like that.
I eat fruit every day. Mm-hmm. But as far as vegetables, if it's in the HelloFresh, yes.
Right.
But not, and maybe if we're grilling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I make it a point every time I get groceries to get like 4 or 5 things of frozen vegetables, whatever. Yeah.
You said mashed potatoes, and I just don't count those as vegetables.
No, they're not. Raw potatoes or whatever, like a baked potato would be all right, but...
I mean, if you're going to count a baked potato, you should be able to count mashed potatoes, and you should be able to count French fries.
Okay.
Right? Because it's all potatoes.
Right. It just depends on how it's cooked or whatever. Yeah.
If you eat fried green beans, you eating green beans?
Technically, but it's deep fried.
If I have fried mushrooms, that's not the question, isn't how they're made. If you have fried mushrooms, are you eating vegetables every day?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because you're still getting the vegetable that's inside that breaded goodness.
Yeah, but you're getting
again,
extra
it's not
calories. I
yes,
guess.
but if you have broccoli and cheddar, you don't discount that you didn't eat broccoli.
Right.
True.
So yeah,
cover it in cheese sauce. Hardly good for you.
It's delicious though.
True.
Last one. The age blank stopped being fun. The age blank stopped being fun.
Age blank. The age of 69. Giggity.
Huh. The age staying up late stop being fun?
Okay. I mean, that doesn't make much sense, but okay.
I don't know.
The age gap.
Drinking too much? Or excessive
Aged
partying?
cheese. Aged wine. Thinking of other things that are aged.
The age when blank stopped being fun. According to a question online, at what age did life stop being fun? Thousands of people have responded so far, and a lot of the answers are upbeat, with many saying they haven't reached that age yet. Some folks also say life didn't get fun until they got older, and some say it's never been fun.
Wow.
Oh, those poor people.
Lindsay, what's the age when life stopped being fun?
It hasn't stopped. I think it gets better.
Gimpy?
No, it does. It changes, it shifts, but it never stops being fun. It only stops being fun if you let it stop being fun. Like those people that say, it's never been fun. I was born and I've been miserable ever since. It's those people, right? So I'm with Lindsay. I don't think it ever stops.
For me, it's getting more fun as I get older. But there's a scene in the new season of Reservation Dogs, and
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. There is a giant rabbit hole I didn't even know existed of Transformer statues across America.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Somebody texted in, said there's one in Bartlesville. There's somebody that texted in and said there's one in Stillwater. I went down the rabbit hole. They're all over America.
Who's to say they're statues?
One, sure.
Right.
One, who's doing it? Two, why? Why that movie?
Because G.I. Joe seems to be weird to have, giant soldiers holding guns. I'm just thinking of, and He-Man's just weird.
It's just a bizarre thing. To me, it's really bizarre. Now, to have it at an amusement park or maybe in a mall,
Sure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess. I guess. But why? And it's not like it's one or the other. It's not convertible. Like you can't unless you transform it.
Right. It's already, the
Erect.
Yes, the robot form.
It's fully standing.
Yes,
Ready.
Yes,
For battle.
yes. Not like a yellow Camaro just sitting out there.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Which feels like you could also say this is a Transformer statue and people be like, okay.
That makes sense. Well, he just hasn't transformed yet.
It's really bizarre, isn't it?
It is.
I had no idea there were so many. Like in Vegas, there's one in Vegas.
Yeah.
Sure.
That makes sense.
Vegas is a weird tourist trap place. So it makes sense for it to be there. In L.A.,
Yeah.
sure.
Hollywood. Sure.
New York City in Times Square. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Bartlesville, Albuquerque,
Right.
Georgetown,
Right. They're like,
Wisconsin.
how do we get people to visit Wooler Rock? Well, let's put up a giant Transformer statue. That'll bring people in, and then we'll have pamphlets that say, go to Wooler Rock.
Okay.
While you're here.
So I've been to Willow Rock more than once. And each time I go, I develop this even more appreciation for it.
Okay.
And I recently found, because if you've ever been there, there's a lot of stuffed animal heads throughout, right? That look like trophies from hunting. And there's this one back stairwell where he has like jackalopes and two-headed cows and all these things. So it sent me down a rabbit hole of all this. Come to find out, Frank Phillips did not hunt all those. It was one was given to him as a joke, and then it just became a thing. Right? And people started giving them to dude, how hilarious is that? There's hundreds, if not thousands.
And he didn't hunt a damn one.
No. Dude, there's a massive banquet room filled with them.
What are we going to do with this rhinoceros head? Give it to Frank. Frank's got that house up in Oklahoma, Yeah.
Ranch.
Right. He'll know what to do with it.
Yeah. Pretty funny. All right. All right. So we went from that to transfer. Okay. Let's see what Lindsay has for Balls to the Wall Sports.
The Western Conference Finals will not end in a sweep. The Minnesota Timberwolves avoided elimination with a 105-100 win over the Dallas Mavericks in Game 4 at the American Airlines Center. Anthony Edwards led the charge with 29 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists to help the Wolves notch their first win of the series. Dallas leads the series 3-1 heading into Game 5 tomorrow night at 7:30 back in Minneapolis. And yesterday, news broke of a lawsuit filed against current Washington Commanders kicker Brandon McManus. In the suit, McManus is accused of committing sexual assault on 2 women by rubbing himself against them and grinding against them during a flight to London when he was with the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jags also are cited in the suit for failing to create a safe environment for staff serving the team. In response, Brett R. Galloway, attorney for McManus, Dennis calls the allegations fictitious and false and accuses it of being an extortion attempt. That's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by the award-winning service of Groundworks Tulsa.
This is right.
Price is Right, of course.
Okay, so those are the three basics. What about press your luck?
No.
Yeah.
So, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Really?
22 years. Password, 23 years.
The Pyramid?
What's My Line? 24 years. Pyramid, 25 years. Let's Make a Deal, 35 years.
Wow.
Now, does that count? Because it wasn't 35 years consecutive. It was
Right.
It was the Monty guy for a while, and then they brought it back with Wayne Brady. So I guess mash them together, it works.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be consecutive, like Price is Right, Wheel of Fortune, and Jeopardy. Those are all consecutive years.
Yeah, I think if you work at KMOD and then take a break and come back, you get X number of years,
Okay.
right?
Alrighty then.
Ooh.
Family Feud, 40 years.
Okay.
I was
Wheel of Fortune, 48 years. Jeopardy, 54 years. This show I've never heard of because it's in another country. Des Charifs et de Lettres.
Sure, easy for
Numbers and Letters, 56 years. It's still on today. Price is Right, 60 years.
So that's the longest. Price is Right.
Price is Right, yeah,
Wow.
is the longest one. Or is it going to be a thing that comes out like it did with Bob Barker that he had to kind of step away because
He owed.
he like a miscusi.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Yeah. Well, it was a different time then.
Right. It changes. Empathy towards humans.
All right.
60 years is a long time, though, for a game show.
Yeah, for sure. It just makes me wonder how long those are going to be on. Are they going to keep doing it? They're going to revamp it, make it different so they can keep that name going? Because really, that's all that people are going because of the name. People were watching because of the name, because they watched it growing up, you know. Everybody knows that when you're sick and you're staying home from school, you're watching The Price is Right.
Yeah.
You know?
I think shows like Price is Right is a different game show, obviously, than like Jeopardy or Wheel, because they have to technologically evolve.
Okay.
They have to evolve the show and the games.
Right.
You can have some classics, but you've got to introduce new games on Price is Right, because technology changes and people's understanding of things changes.
That makes sense.
Wheel of Fortune, it's spin a wheel, earn points.
It's
Now,
the
how
same
they
game.
derive the letters and things like that, or on Jeopardy, can obviously change. But overall, it's the same game.
Yeah. There's no need to change it.
Tic-tac-toe, celebrity whatever, doesn't last because you get annoyed. You get annoyed with just because you're famous doesn't mean you're awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Hollywood Squares.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And some of these other shows, that's why I like Pyramid, and like it runs its exhaustion level. That's why they don't do just Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. You want to see people that are like, quote unquote, you win.
Right. It gives you hope
Absolutely.
and a chance that you could be on that show someday and you could win that money.
The number of people that are like, to know someone to be on Wheel of Fortune is rare. Think about all the times they come through and recruit people, and then how many people from here actually get on the show? Not very many, if you think about it. So where do those people come from? Well, they recruit people. Some are up and coming actors. Like they tried because they have to fill it. Lindsay's tried to be on game shows before. One of the hardest parts about being on a game show is that you have to fly out on your own, put yourself up, and you might get on the show.
Right. They don't pay for you to be out there until you finally make the final cut.
And when you're on the show, you might just get the minimum, which is like $1,000 now or something like that, which you're like, that's a lot. It is a lot. Not after hotel and airfare and expenses.
In California.
In anywhere.
Yeah.
You go to any hotel, you're not gonna, even if you're gonna stay at the Comfort Inn.
Right.
And if you are, it's still $200. You're there a week. That's $1,000. It doesn't matter where it's at. You ain't staying at the Sunnyside Inn with the satellite dish painted yellow.
Right. With all the crackheads and whores.
Well, I mean, you can get that anywhere, any hotel, right?
2 Subway employees shot over too much mayo.
Okay, I was like, sandwich or
Yes.
tunnel?
In Atlanta, police responded to a shooting at a Subway location inside of a Circle K. Reportedly, a customer became irate when too much mayonnaise was squirted onto his sandwich. That's when he allegedly opened fire, hitting 2 female employees, one of which was fatally wounded, and the other is in serious condition. The store's owner says a third employee fired back at the unnamed gunman.
What?
Yeah, but he
A third
missed.
employee. That means the employee had a gun.
Yeah.
Well, by God, we got to save them sandwiches somehow, Corbin.
Yeah. The suspect is in custody. Police said that the woman was 26 years old. A 24-year-old employee was shot in front of her 5-year-old son. She's the one that's in critical condition. The woman was hit twice after she pushed her son out of the way under the counter to keep him from being hurt. The co-owner of the Subway said that a third worker had definitely shot at the gunman. He missed, but at least he put up a little fight, he said. Atlanta police officer said that this was a case of someone with a gun who didn't know how to resolve conflict without resorting to violence. They did not release the identity of the worker who was killed because they were still waiting for family members to be informed, but said both of the employees were young women who had just started at the location about 3 weeks ago. And the customer had been in the Subway location before without ever having an incident. The interim chief of police said so far arguments are the majority cause of homicides this year in Atlanta.
There's a lot going on in this story.
Boy, I tell you.
Your 5-year-old kid was there?
Yeah.
That's what I thought was bizarre. Okay, I get it. You got to go to work. You can't find a babysitter, but
Or can't afford one?
Or I
Can't
was
afford
thinking
one.
too, or maybe she was going to get off in like 20 minutes and, maybe the dad dropped the child off.
No,
And
no, that's also not okay.
yeah, I know.
It's a weird thing for the 5-year-old to be there. Two, another employee had a gun on him.
Yeah.
The other thing too with Subways, they're everywhere.
right.
There was a time that I believe there were more Subways than McDonald's and Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts and all that. Like they were the most widely dispersed chain.
Yeah, especially for sub sandwiches. Faux show. They were like, they had the corner market there. But then some other places started
I think they're
coming out.
still pretty high up on the list.
You think so?
Absolutely. They're you go anywhere, there's a Subway.
Yeah, I guess you're right. They've got 'em
Anywhere.
inside,
They're so
gas stations
easy.
and stuff.
It's not like a Chick-fil-A, right? Like you go, there are towns that just don't have Chick-fil-A's. I would bet almost every town has a Subway
Oh, yeah.
sandwich shop.
And if you're putting too much mayonnaise on mine, I'm giving you a tip. If I don't have to ask for it.
Here's the deal. You can tell them to stop anytime because
Yeah.
you're sitting there watching them make your sandwich. You see how much of everything that they put on. You could have been like, whoa, 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 dial it back on the mayonnaise,
Yeah.
man.
Or you can say light mayo or
Right, but what's light mayo?
light on the mayo.
Yeah, but how much is
so
light? Your light
a
and
little
my light are
short.
not the same.
Yeah.
And I'm the artist here.
All right. These are the most
True.
popular sandwich chains in America. Okay? This is what it says. Blimpie? Have you ever had a Blimpie?
Yeah.
I have, but it's not most popular. It's the most locations,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Because I can name my favorite sandwich shop, but it's not everywhere.
Right.
And I would wager the majority of people in this town have never eaten at it, right? So you can't go with most popular. You have to have which sandwich shop has the most locations.
Largest sandwich chain in the U.S. Oh, here we go. Fun. This is as of 2020, so it's a couple of years old. But it says largest sandwich chain. So does that quantify?
I think so,
as,
yeah.
As it could be.
Sure.
Okay. Continue to the site. Subway comes in at number 6.
Oh.
It has their rankings on
What's
here.
number one?
I got to scroll down. It doesn't have the number 1 listed on the quick list.
Well, what's number 5?
Listen, here's how it goes. 6, 18, 34, 46, 58, 63, 69, 89, 99, 100. There's nothing really. It says rank in there.
Okay. So, all right. So the list you're looking at, those are sandwich ones on the list. So the number 1 sandwich shop is Subway, but it comes on number 6 of all, like probably fast food.
Probably so. U.S. sales. And
Morning show, 918-460-KMOD. Can also text BMMS, and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. The absolute loudest weekend of the year is happening Labor Day weekend in Pryor, USA. It is Rocklahoma, where you will see Avenged Sevenfold, Evanescence, Disturbed, Slipknot, just to name a few. We've got your tickets to win. General admission at 7:30 this morning. If you don't win them, you can still get them. Get all your details online at the website that rocks, KMOD.com.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Well, good morning. Before Rocklahoma, you can prime your music festival pump with the Rock the River Music Fest happening at Sparrowhawk Park down there at the Illinois River. You can join me June 13th through the 16th, Rehab, Texas Hippie Coalition, and a buttload of more musicians. It's a whole weekend thing. Float the river by day, and then we'll party our asses off at night. Get your details at rocktheriverfest.com. That's RAWK.
Lindsay.
You're good.
Lindsay, 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 Lindsay.
Oh, it is so
tricky.
tight. That's a good one. Someone posted up on Reddit, and I actually asked a question on our Facebook page and Instagram. If brands were brutally honest, what would their new slogan be? And you can add to the list. And some of these are hysterical. For example, if brands were brutally honest, Boeing. If it's Boeing, I'm not going. Target. When you'll pay a little more to not shop at Walmart. Very true. I went to Target the other day, and I had my oldest with me, and I said, I have to buy a new bathing suit. And I knew that Target had them 30% off. And he said, oh, cool. I've never been into Target. And I thought, I've never taken you to Target? What the hell kind of mother am I? I was blown away that he had never been into Target.
I'm not. I mean, if you go there to escape from your family, to get a break
Right.
from them.
Right. But I don't really shop there because I always end up spending too much money every time I go. And of course, I did. And while we were in there, he was like, put your blinders on, Mom, put your blinders on. Because, of course, I went into the home department and I did. I had to put my blinders on so I wouldn't buy anything. But it was... I did feel like this one is so true. When you'll pay a little more to not shop at Walmart. And I do shop at Walmart a lot, but I could see the difference while I was in there. It just felt cleaner and it was almost friendlier. Yeah. And the selection of the bathing suits, for example, were a lot better.
I feel like they're pretty equal.
Sometimes. Frontier Airlines. We're not happy until you're not happy. Wouldn't know.
I don't get that one.
I've never flown Frontier Airlines.
Wouldn't any business have that slogan?
We're not happy until you're not happy.
Okay.
Tinder. Feel lonelier than ever. We wouldn't know that one either.
Okay.
Guitar Center, where you can hear the first 2 bars of Stairway to Heaven all day long. Ticketmaster, where best choice is no choice.
Truth.
Yeah, definitely. Benadryl, you can't have allergies if you're asleep. Very true. Is the only medication that knocks me out.
Not even NyQuil.
Nope.
Do you know they say you shouldn't take Benadryl anymore?
Why?
It is, I didn't know this was a thing. It is an old generation antihistamine.
All right, then.
What? I don't understand. Old generation as opposed...
There's a new type of antihistamine.
Okay.
A newer generation.
Yeah. Oh.
Antihistamine.
So making it safer or...
It won't make you drowsy.
Okay.
I've never taken Benadryl a day in my life.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you taken any other allergy?
You could have just started with medicine.
Right,
no.
exactly.
No, I really don't suffer from allergies, so
Lucky.
I don't have to worry about that.
I didn't suffer from allergies until I moved to Oklahoma. Taco Bell. It's late, you're high, we're open. Makes sense. McDonald's. Technically, we're working, but our ice cream machine isn't.
Right?
Yeah. Facebook, where your privacy goes to die. This is if brands were brutally honest. Red Bull, because sleep is for the weak. Not terrible. Google, we know everything you've ever done. YouTube, where cats are more famous than you.
True.
Yeah. Walmart, where people watching is a sport. True. McDonald's, we're loving it, but your arteries might not. Facebook, connecting you with people you barely remember from high school. Truth. Starbucks, overpriced coffee with a side of pretentiousness. Domino's Pizza, better than starving, right? Red Bull, giving you wings and a heart condition. YouTube, where productivity goes to die.
Unless you're learning how to be productive.
That's true.
Right.
Same could be said for TikTok.
True.
Somebody texted in with Target. Target, where you want to pay higher prices for the same S product Walmart has.
Yeah. Fitbit, making you feel guilty for every step you don't take. So true.
I don't think a lot of people have Fitbits.
I love my Fitbit.
I know you do.
Altoids, use the box for absolutely anything else.
Altoids are trash.
First of all, that's the worst one. Because it should be Altoids. Your lady will love it.
Why does it burn?
Yeah, Altoids. There's a lot of Altoids. Free mints with every purchase.
Right, implying you're buying it for the tin, yeah.
Altoids, F your taste buds. Here's a can. Yeah. Staples, no one actually works here.
Yeah, you can never find help when you're in there.
I can't tell you the last time I went to a Staples.
Why would you? What would
think
you potentially need from a Staples?
Yeah, school supplies.
yeah.
Look at it. I think that was the last time that I walked into a Staples was needing school supplies. Yeah, I'll get a couple of notebooks or whatever.
Yeah.
But why get them there and not at like Walmart or Target?
That was her choice.
So you really didn't go. You were taken to.
I was there. I was in the building. I pulled up in the parking lot and opened the door that said Staples.
So let's go back to the original question.
Right.
When was the last time you wanted to go to a Staples?
Man, I don't know. It's been a while.
Yellow Pages. Here, you can throw this away. True.
That's what I do with them, straight in the trash can.
Right.
I swear, if they put another one in my yard, I'm thinking about suing them for trespassing and loitering and littering and
Right.
everything else.
Right.
What do you?
Who uses those anymore?
I have no idea. My mom, who grew up with phones, had a hard time even getting rid of a home phone. Finally made that transition. Even she's like, I don't want a phone book.
Right. Yeah. My mom still has a landline, but does she use her Yellow Pages that she gets? No, because she has Google.
Why does she have a landline?
I have no idea. No clue.
Some habits are just hard to break.
Exactly.
It's an expensive habit.
So. I think
They
so.
probably give them away free now.
Probably. Absolutely. Yeah. Burger King, because Wendy's is closed. Once in a while, I got a hankering.
I'm picking Burger King over Wendy's.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh man, spicy nugs and the baconator.
Yeah. Good. Good. Whopper.
I mean, I do
Their chicken
love-
sandwich.
I haven't had the chicken sandwich.
There's
The Whopper is amazing.
the chicken fries.
I'll give you the chicken fries. I was thinking Burger King not that long ago, and there's one in Broken Arrow up there on Elm or whatever. I was like, where's the closest one? Okay, that's it. Go by there, not a soul in the parking lot. I went to Bueno instead. And it
Yeah.
just seems to be how most BKs are. I don't see a lot of people, like even McDonald's, they got a parking lot full, right? Not to BK.
Have you seen the Chipotle thing that's happening?
No.
So apparently, when you go to Chipotle, they've been cutting back on how much they put in your bowl or whatever, like if you get a bowl, right? And so people are outraged, and that I guess there's this they've had to deal with so much outrage from people at Chipotle that the managers are like, if somebody's filming, just overdo their bowl.
Right.
And so there's a trend happening online of people testing the Chipotle phone hack.
Okay.
And then filming while they're getting, and it's disgustingly overwhelming. I'm like, there's no way that is real.
Yeah, they're going to be the next Red Lobster because, they don't want to have bad publicity.
Dude, the Red Lobster rabbit hole is insane.
Yeah.
You think it's endless shrimp.
Yeah.
That's not even it. That's not even a blip on the reason why they're going bankrupt.
Right.
It's
Please tell me the CEO has a bad cocaine problem or something like that.
No. No.
Gambling.
No.
Prostitutes.
No.
None of that, huh?
What?
No. Well, you'll have to tune in tomorrow.
I can't wait.
I mean, I know they put their biscuits in the grocery stores.
And you think that was their downfall.
I love their biscuits, but if you don't have to go there for
They're not the
them-
same.
They really
I
aren't.
think
They
they're
really aren't.
I
They're
think
good.
They're good.
They're good, but if you had Bisquick and cheese, you could have done it.
That is true too. But no one thinks that they can. Spirit Airlines, we got you there alive. What else do you want?
That's not bad. I mean,
Sure.
I mean, yeah, right. And here's one for the Titanic.
Oh, good.
Yeah, God said, "Hold my beer and watch this."
I don't get it.
Because God said because their slogan was only God could sink this ship.
That was
God himself couldn't sink this ship.
That was their slogan.
God himself couldn't sink this ship.
That was their slogan?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Somebody had texted one for us. Says the Big Man Morning Show. He's right. She's a mom, and his stories will haunt your dreams.
Especially his sexcapade stories. What was the Boeing one? No,
we're not going back.
Boeing,
We're not
going.
We're not going to go back to them.
Yeah.
Hot Pockets, where every bite is a different temperature.
Oh God, yes.
Truth.
So true.
Some is hot lava, some is ice cold, some is just kind of.
I mean, they're hot garbage or cold garbage. That's why I don't eat them.
Netflix, we're raising the price of the subscription.
Again. Yeah. Yeah. And we're going to raise the price if you're sharing a password. I found that out too. I mean, we knew that it was happening.
Yeah,
but
you
it's
shouldn't have found that
really-
out. They told you twice.
Yes. If you got more to add to the list, you can add them on our Facebook page. You can text them in or on our Instagram. Yellow Pages, look, we printed part of the internet for you to throw away.
That might be the best one.
Yeah, absolutely. So go add them. If brand names were honest.
Lindsay, 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 Lindsey, Lindsay. 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 Lindsey. Lindsay.
Oh,
What are you talking about? It's not like I'm turning down women every time I go out the door.
You go to the bar, you wait till about, 1:45-ish.
Oh.
You find the biggest woman with the least amount of teeth in her face, and you say, you're coming with me.
I got to be honest. If I'm cheating as revenge, it ain't just going to be on crumbs. Listener email, I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years
Homeless
because
people eat out of garbage cans, Corbin.
I made a stupid mistake and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, and slept with some woman. Almost immediately, the guilt took over me. She's told me it's over. But I have to try. What can I do to get her or to give our marriage a second chance? Lindsay.
Okay, so he already did the most awful thing he could have done, and that was cheat. But he was honest. So he's got that going for him at least. And if he wants to work things out, he's going to have to take the blame and take whatever is coming to him. If she is pissed, let her be pissed and just take it. Take the anger and just wait it out and see what she wants to do. The ball is absolutely 100% in her court. So whatever she wants, she gets at this point. If you want to stay in this marriage. If she wants to go through therapy, then you guys are going to go to counseling together. If she wants just you to go to counseling, then you're going to have to go to counseling because the ball is absolutely 100% in her court.
Gimpy.
Yeah, man, there's really nothing you can do, honestly. Just sit back and take your lumps as they are, all right? If she wants it to work, she'll figure it out. She's going to be mad AF for a long time, and you're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to deal with being boring. There's not going to be any time going out with the boys or going out doing what else, you know. And if you can't handle that, then you need to walk away. You need to realize, well, I effed this one up. I'm just going to go ahead and take my ball, and I'm going to go home, and then I'll come back and play the game another day. You know what I'm saying? It's just there's nothing really you can do. Just let time pass it on by. That's it.
I'm sorry, I have no gimmick for you that will work. You tell her you want it to work, you made a giant mistake, and you're willing to work through it. She doesn't hear that, you got your answer. It's pretty black and white, man.
Yeah.
You have to eat your S sandwich. And when you go on and date in the future and be asked what happened with your marriage, you got to be honest. You est the bed royally. And so either you tell her what you want and hope she appeases you, but why beg someone to be with you? The Huffington Post has a list of the rudest things to avoid when you're visiting someone's home, like things you shouldn't do, right?
Oh, okay.
Touching or moving things.
Well, yeah.
Oh, so like I'm guilty of this though. Like if a picture
I'm shocked.
If a picture is crooked hanging on the wall, I'll straighten it.
Why?
No.
Why? It's not yours.
Exactly.
Because I'm sure that it wasn't supposed to be crooked.
You don't know that. Some people like things off kilter like that.
I'll even mention it. I'm gonna fix that.
Oh, that's rude. That's like, like the cliche of like a mom coming in like, your pictures aren't straight.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Ma.
Another one. Expecting a tour.
Oh, yeah.
You don't walk in and be like, give me a tour.
No, I don't.
I totally do. I love snooping around.
Because I don't want someone to do that to me. Because what if your bedrooms aren't clean or the bathroom's not clean?
Then they'll let you know.
Yeah.
Furthermore, Susan, they shouldn't be having company over if that's the case. Bedroom, maybe. Right? Bathrooms, though, clean that S up if you're having company come over.
Another one. Overstaying your welcome.
Right.
How long? What's the good amount of time to stay at someone's house?
Depends on what the activity is.
Yeah.
Let's say dinner.
Oh, okay.
Couple hours.
2 hours after dinner. After 2 hours.
So you show up at 6, 8, get out.
Because now it's time for the family to wind down.
Yeah.
And start doing their own nightly routine.
And I think it depends on who it is, too. Like you always know, I think, depending on which friend it is.
Snooping.
Oof.
Yeah.
Opening the cabinet.
Yeah, you
to
don't
look
do
through the
that.
medicine cabinet. You feel like you give the vibe that you do that.
No, I don't do that.
Okay, it's not an insult. I'm just saying
Yeah.
it gives a vibe.
Why? What
Because
gives
you're
you that
nosy.
vibe?
You're very nosy.
What makes me nosy?
Well, you'll walk into a room when a conversation's happening going, wait, what are we talking about?
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You love knowing other people's gossip?
Yeah. I'll watch those gossip shows.
No, I'm talking
they're
like
there
personal
for.
gossip. I'm not talking about TV shows.
Yeah, if we're here, I don't want to miss out on anything, for sure.
Yeah, that's nosy.
Yeah.
Bringing an uninvited +1.
Yeah. Because now you're forcing the other people to, like, entertain somebody they don't know. It just makes
Right,
everything.
or don't
Yeah.
like.
Exactly. And it's not your place to be inviting somebody else over.
Feeding their dog.
Huh? Oh, like table scraps or something?
I think that's what they mean, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
I can't imagine you'd be like, where's your chow chow so I can put it in the bowl?
Yeah, some people do that. Some people think that because they feed their dogs table scraps or popcorn or whatever, that they can do that with your dog.
That's good that your dog's stomach has adapted to that, but now you're going to make your friend's dog crap all over their house because it's not used to that.
Showing up empty-handed.
I don't think that's that bad. I mean, do I have to bring potato salad every time I come over?
No.
Exactly.
No, I always take something.
Yeah, I always take a bottle of wine.
Okay.
Always, always.
All right. I usually got my medicine on me, so that just works out perfectly.
Yeah, but that's not extra, right? Like you said, it's like offering him a cigarette.
Right. I don't have to share with you, though. That's the thing. I don't have to.
Yes, but you're not going out of your way is the point, right?
Listen, I'm the guy that goes to Walmart and gets the cookies for the potluck that we're having here at work, okay? Do you expect more from me?
Yeah, I think if you go to someone's house and they're making, like, let's just say dinner still, you got to take something.
Yeah.
I did. I brought
Even
my
a
appetite.
dessert or wine, whatever.
Yeah.
Something.
It's just manners, Gimpy, right?
Right. Yeah, sure.
No?
Listen, y'all invited me over. Okay, cool. I'll come over and have dinner. That's all right. Doesn't mean I have to bring a bottle of wine or a six-pack or a bottle of anything for that fact. That's that. Unless you say so, hey, BYOB, bring a bottle, bring a side item. We'll get the main course. That happens to me a lot. We got the main courses. Come on over for barbecue, whatever. Bring a side item. All right, cool. Tater salad it is.
I've never gone to someone's house and, like, looked around and said to myself, that's so dirty here.
Oh.
Ugh.
Wow.
What, do they have lives? Right? I don't go, their sheets, they didn't even make their bed. I don't do all that.
Oh, I bet you have.
Look down my
No.
nose at you.
Because life happens.
Depends on the level of the filth, right? If you walk into somebody's house,
If you're
and
a
it looks
hoarder?
like hoarders, yeah, exactly.
I ain't going to your house. I already know
Yeah.
you're a hoarder.
But this is the first time you didn't realize that they were disgusting people or hoarders until you walk into their house,
Oh,
right?
no. You
get
can read a
totally
hoarder a
thrown
mile
off
away.
guard.
No, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
Hoarder.
Yeah, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
You just tell by the way they dress, their lack of showering.
Or by their vehicle.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, right? I think absolutely.
But you still don't say anything. You just kind of watch where you sit down, maybe scooch the newspapers or whatever,
Yeah.
paper plates with leftover pizza rolls on them, and hang out for a little bit. And I gotta go. I got it.
If I'm going to judge, I'm judging, I'm going to judge the food. So I'm not going to judge like, hey, your bed wasn't made.
No.
I'm going to judge, oh my God, you served Brussels sprouts or whatever that is.
Right.
I'm not going to get all like, ugh, you didn't clean for my arrival.
Right. 'Cause you're right. Life happens,
Life
especially
happens.
if you've got small children.
Oh, and you're having a dinner party.
Right. You can expect toys to be all over the place. Now, there's a difference between, a little clutter, kids don't know how to pick up their toys, and your house looks like Ross, dress for less. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would think if you're hosting a dinner party, you would want to clean up.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
But that's not necessarily true, especially if you're like, hey, come over tonight, we're having pizza. Pizza feels like there's no cleaning happening.
Yeah, it's okay to have your laundry still piled up on the back of the couch from like 4 days.
You should at least pick it up and throw it on your bed,
Yeah.
right? Give me a place to sit.
Right. Just move the panties over. It'll be fine.
It's always like, I've gone and I stopped getting in the car with this person when I went to get in their car and they're like, hold on. And they had to like unload a bunch of stuff from the seat and the floorboard into the back seat so I could sit down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you invited me to get in your car.
You should have had that fixed up beforehand.
Or
Right.
just don't invite me into your car.
I'm with you.
Right? If you don't have a place for me to sit, what are you doing inviting me over?
I just like the company.
I'm not a charity. Yeah. So that would be, I'm judging food. What do you judge? What's your judge when you go to someone's house? If it's
Cleanliness.
like cleanliness?
Probably, yeah. Especially if you're having a dinner party.
Yeah, I might do that too.
Uh-huh.
Gimpy?
Definitely cleanliness. And it doesn't have to be sparkling like you walk in and everything's ding, ding, ding.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Let's go ahead and play a game because we got tickets to Rocklahoma we're going to give away. Labor Day weekend, Prior USA, Disturb, Slipknot, bunch of others, full lineup. Link for tickets at KMOD.com. And we're going to play Pick the Flick. Current record is...
Looks like I am leading with 8. You have 5. Lindsay, deadass last with 4.
Last week's winner.
That'd be me.
So Corbin and Lindsay at 918-460-KMOD. 918-460-KMOD. Call up, decide who's going to be your clue giver. Whoever gets the most right is going to win those tickets to Rocklahoma. Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name?
Bobby.
Bobby. Who do you want to give clues, Bobby? Lindsay or Corbin?
Corbin.
Bobby, 60 seconds are on the clock. Timer starts after the first clue. You ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Leonardo DiCaprio, a bear eats him, and then he gets...
The Revenant?
Correct. Double pointer. This movie title has the name of the actor in it. He played the Russian in the Matt Damon movie.
John Malkovich?
You've got John Malkovich, right? There's a word before it. When you are trying to emulate somebody...
Copy.
Finish a human...
Being Malkovich?
You've got part of it. You got to add his full name.
Being John Malkovich?
Correct. This is Hugh Jackman, and metal comes out of his fingers.
Wolverine?
Yes. Double pointer. This is about the lead singer of the Sex Pistols and his wife.
Oh, God.
Blank Vicious.
Sid?
Yes. You're being a blank girl. Time. I didn't know what the clue should be for that one. Dude, you were so close. 4 is what we got. That might be good enough for the win. So hang on the line, okay?
Okay.
Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name?
Hello?
Good morning. You're on the... Good morning. You're on the air.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Okay. Turn
Hi.
your radio down.
Yeah, I got
Before
you.
I shoot myself in the face.
I'm sorry.
What is your name?
Taylor.
Taylor. All right, you got 60 seconds, Taylor. You and Lindsay got to beat 4. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
Eddie Murphy is a police officer in California.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Yes. Reese Witherspoon is trying to be an attorney.
Legally Blonde.
Yes. Abraham. President. Abraham.
Lincoln.
Yes. This is Ben Stiller, and he gets married to a blonde.
Lisa Fokker.
No, and oh gosh.
Heartbreak Kid.
Yes. This is a double pointer. Think of Greek mythology, and
Troy.
No.
300.
No. Pass. Okay, this was an 80s, 90s television show turned movie. Hasselhoff, red bathing suits.
Baywatch.
Yes, this is a Quentin Tarantino film. And
Kill Bill.
No, and not Cat, the opposite of Cats.
Time. Congratulations, Taylor. You're getting those tickets to Rocklahoma.
Yes.
Maybe she said duck.
I think she said duck. I hope
I tried to. I can't do that.
Yeah. In a previous form of the show, you would not win, but you did. Congratulations. Hang on the line, okay?
Thanks.
Yeah. You're welcome. Bobby, 4 was not enough, friend. I'm so sorry, man.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, buddy. See you later. Here's the one that Lindsay ended on. Quentin Tarantino, Mr. Pink, Mr. White. Yeah. Body of water kept for drinking.
Yeah.
Right.
The opposite of cat. Reservoir Dogs, yeah. And then the one that you passed on, yeah, Medusa, if you look in her eyes, you turn to stone. Robot Owl. It was in 80s, and then they remade it.
Right.
Haven't
You were
seen
right in
it.
terms of Greek mythology, Clash of the Titans. And then the one that I ended on.
Yeah, Sex Pistols, and you were right. Blank Vicious, and then did he say Sid? I thought he said Sid. Yeah,
said
and
Sid.
then you could say maybe mystery novels, Blank Drew, about the girl Blank Drew, and hope that he thinks of Nancy.
What would you?
it
Because he probably was
Nancy
a
Drew?
big Nancy
Yeah,
Drew
right.
fan.
I don't know.
What do you think, Gimpy?
I'm thinking Bobby's a big Nancy Drew fan.
Right.
Mrs. Kerrigan, the figure
yeah.
skater who got
I
her
was
knee
trying to think
bashed
of
in.
famous Nancys.
Famous Nancys. There's not a lot of famous Nancys out there.
Okay, so Nancy Pelosi.
Okay.
Oh, that would have been
Oh,
perfect.
yeah.
There you go.
Kerrigan's solid.
Yeah.
Drew.
Nancy Reagan.
Nancy
Nancy
Reagan.
Reagan,
Yeah,
yeah,
see, there are a
yeah.
lot of famous Nancys. Name of a
Nancy
pansy
Sinatra.
girl. Nancy girl.
All right. Nancy Boy.
Nancy boy.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, the record now.
Well, that keeps me in the lead with 8, but now ties you and Lindsay with 5 each.
The Big Mad Morning Show returns next. Tulsa's Morning Show. 97.5 KMOD.
Chicken piccata is the lemon chicken. I know. It's lemon.
Yeah, 7.
That's 0.
Oh my God.
Like we went to that fancy Italian place for the boss that what was that last week, his lunch or whatever. And I'm looking at the menu, I was like,
Mondo's great Italian restaurant.
Mondo's, I respect them and what they do. It's just Italian is not for me. I'm like, I don't know what to get. Everything on the menu had either mushrooms or lemon on it. And I was just like, what's this stuff with the shrimp? Sounds good. I'll eat the shrimp over the noodles, which is exactly what I did.
I mean, I wanted to see. All right, so let's just go with a couple things here because I'm trying to find fried mozzarella.
I mean, that's just deep
10.
fried cheese. But even then, I want to give it like a 4.
Calamari.
10.
Calamari. I'll go ahead and give that like maybe a 6 or something because I've had calamari at other places that's not Italian food.
Bruschetta or bruschetta.
10.
Was that the fancy bread?
It's most of the time it's toasted little pieces of bread with tomatoes and olive oil and balsamic and basil and
Yes,
stuff.
the extremely stale bread that you chip a tooth on every time you eat it. That's a 0.
Let's see. Let's get it. Spaghetti and meatball ravioli.
Lindsay?
6.
Only if it's Chef Boyardee. Which actually his name was Chef Boyardee, but we had to Americanize it by saying
Give me your rating, Mr. Wikipedia.
1,
Tortellini.
4.
2.
Peppers and onions.
That's it. Like no sausage to put them on, or
Sausage,
anything?
peppers, and onions. It's typically
With like a
4.
bun, you know. I mean, I guess with the sausage, peppers, and onions, I give it like a 3, 4, maybe even.
fettuccine carbonara.
What's the carbonara part?
Bacon.
Oh,
That's a 5.
What?
1.
Eggplant parmigiana.
Yeah, that's 8.
That's a big 0 for me, homie.
Meatball sub.
Oh God,
5.
this is getting worse and worse the further we go down. 0, man. That stuff is too messy. It doesn't eat well. You have to have a fork to eat a sandwich. I think that's retarded.
Oh, I liked it. Gnocchi.
What? Huh? Oh, okay. I've had that come in like a Hello Fresh or something like that once. And I was like, what is this? What is this garbage?
Oh, you didn't enjoy it?
Lindsay.
5.
0.
Oh my gosh.
I know it sounds crazy, but like when it comes to like the Big Ten of restaurants and foods and stuff, Italian's at the bottom of that list for me, man.
Somebody texted in and said, you think Zio's is delicious? You got to try Luigi's and Skytook. So authentic. I think it's run by the actual Italian mob. I've had Luigi's and Skytook. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. I like, it's not like I go to Zio's and I order one of everything.
Right.
Right? I worked there after college, and their 5 cheese pasta, adding chicken to it, was so good.
Yeah.
Their spinach artichoke dip, which isn't Italian, whatever, but it was so good.
Mm-hmm. I just like the brown paper on the tables that give you crayons.
The
You could
cannoli,
draw.
yeah, I know how to write my name upside down. Cannoli, with the Alfredo and the chicken stuff, so good there.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you the Italian dish, the cannoli. That's delicious just because it's cheese and powdered sugar.
No. That's the dessert.
I know.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
That's the only Italian food that I really like is a good old cannoli.
We haven't gotten to the real one. Pizza.
I've said it before, and you all thought I was crazy.
1 to 10.
1 to 10, a pizza. That's
10.
going to be a 3 for me. So low on the scale, man.
Lindsay.
10.
Yeah.
Always.
Pretty much all those except peppers and onions that we've mentioned are about anywhere between an 8 and a 10 for me.
Really?
See, I love peppers and onions. I don't love the heartburn, but man, it's almost worth the heartburn for me.
A good bolognese pasta.
Well, Italian food. They are the Beatles for me.
A nice short
food.
short rib braised ragu.
Ragu, the sauce in a jar.
So it's just no. So good. I'm telling you, man, Italian food.
Man who killed Kevin Bacon charged with first-degree murder.
You mean 5th degree?
6 degrees.
6th degree?
Yeah. So this happened in Michigan. A judge has decided that Mark Latunsky will face a charge of first-degree murder after a degree hearing. The murder degree hearing for Mark Latunsky continued for a second day. This happened last Wednesday. He admitted to killing and mutilating Kevin Bacon, who is 25 years old. In court, he accepted a plea into open murder. The hearing was for the judge to determine if Mark will be sentenced for a charge of first-degree or second-degree murder, and the judge decided on the former. Back in 2019, Kevin Bacon, his body was found in Latunsky's home. He and Kevin Bacon met on a dating app, according to investigators. Kevin's body was hung upside down with a slit throat, according to police. Investigators also say that the man's testicles were removed and eaten.
This is a thing. How many stories have we read about castrations?
Yeah. At least a small handful that I can think of. I didn't even mean to do that.
I know you didn't. I could tell just by the way you delivered it. Yeah. It feels like we've read, it happened here in Oklahoma.
Yeah. Some guy come down to meet two other guys, and they end up cutting his balls off or something like
Yeah.
that. Is it for fun, or are they, trying to prove a point? I don't get, because me personally, I would never chop my balls off for fun.
No.
Is it a Moussa Muffin thing? Like you go for a little BDSM, just like tightening, and then there's some menacing people out there, and like, I'm just going to slice them off.
Right. Let's see how far we can take this train. Okay.
That doesn't. I cannot piece together these stories. This is one of the stories we do that I'm like, I don't get it.
Right.
I don't get why it happens. I don't get the people that are up for it.
Yeah.
Not that this was a willing participant. We don't know that part.
Right. The only thing that I can think of is obviously there's some kind of mental issue where the person whose balls are chopped off maybe has like a sex addiction or something to that effect, and they think that that's the only way they can get over it. The only way that they can cure themselves is to cut off that part of the body. Yeah. So therefore, they won't have that sexual desire anymore. Whether it's raping babies or
Like
just,
dogs.
Yeah, that too.
The idea that that's what you do to dogs, so they don't they don't want to hump.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think this is more of a Jeffrey Dahmer situation where the guy, they met on a dating app. The guy came over to the guy's house, and he ended up tying this guy up.
Yeah, I'm not buying that, because then there would be more. This isn't. You know what I'm saying? You don't go. I understand there's a first time for everything,
Right.
but you're not going to be like, well, I think next time I'm willing to take a step further, get the skillet out. Right?
I wonder
That's
if
also
these taste like.
it's also an important feature. Did he cook them, or did he eat them raw?
Right.
Because eating a heart of a deer is not an uncommon thing. Sometimes straight out of it, sometimes cooked.
Right. Even your Rocky Mountain oysters. bull balls, bull butter. People eat those, but they don't eat them raw.
They don't eat them raw, right?
As far as I know, they don't. If you do, that makes you a little weird, and I don't think we should be friends anymore.
The idea that these two crazy people found each other, if that's the case, God, the universe is insane.
Imagine the life they could have had if he would not have died.
I think they had the life they imagined.
He just ended up dead and ballless.
I think again, we don't know the motive of the other person from the story.
Yeah.
But that sounds like that was the motive of this guy. He literally was like, whatever you want to do, Judge.
Right.
Apparently, and I dug into this guy a little bit. He had a master's degree. Like, he was pretty, he was...
The Unabomber had a master's. He was, come on.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Did you get that online nowadays?
Sentencing for him will be held on December 15th.
I saw a thing yesterday online. I don't know if it's true, but you know how they caught the Unabomber? They caught the Unabomber. He was such an elitist, like... Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Coming up, we got our top 5 songs. Top 5 songs about truckers from listener Thankful for Truckers. We'll get to that coming up in a little bit. But right now, we've got to see what Gimpy has in his 4x4.
Well, it says here that Pope Francis apologizes for using an anti-gay slur. Pope Frank is apologizing for using an anti-gay slur during a meeting with the bishops. Italian newspapers report that he made the remark in a closed-door meeting last week while saying gay men shouldn't be allowed to train for the priesthood. The Vatican said in a statement the 87-year-old Pope never intended to offend or express himself in homophobic terms, and he extends his apologies to those who felt offended by the use of the term, as reported by others.
What did he say?
He said that gay men shouldn't be allowed to train for the priesthood. I'm with you. But okay.
You don't think so?
No. I'm like, how is that offensive? But I can see how people could.
It was his opinion.
Yeah. But now he's got to apologize.
But I don't know what the slang thing he said is.
That's kind of where I'm at. That's why I'm like, I'm with you. I don't know where the anti-gay slur is in there, but whatever. It's not like he called him other names. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he's just expressed his opinion, but I guess he pissed off some people, so he had to apologize. Nonetheless, there's a study that links early exposure to peanuts and a lower allergy risks.
Nuts.
Peanuts. A new study shows that feeding peanuts to children could reduce the risk of developing an allergy. The study, published in the New England Journal of Medicine, shows a strong link between exposure to peanuts before the age of 5 and a lower risk of peanuts allergies. The tolerance developed from exposure to peanuts lasts even in older children, and study participants as old as 13.
So there's a theory on why kids develop allergies now more than they have peanut allergies now more than ever.
No.
And one of them is their lack of exposure to peanuts or peanut powder.
Right.
And that, they directly associate it with it. Little kids eat little Tostios. You know what those are?
Yeah.
And you buy them in the little canister or whatever. And apparently they used to have like a peanut powder in them, and then they got away from it. And so kids, because a lot of kids eat those when they're babies.
Yeah.
Right? Babies. Young toddlers, right? And that they haven't been exposed, and that they say kids like that are allergic to it, now they can start with those.
Okay.
Because you can buy them, like, I guess in other countries, like America's the only one they've neutralized them. And that will help, and that's kind of what they're saying.
Huh.
I don't know if you should be giving spoonfuls of peanut butter to your toddler.
Eat it. Keep them quiet for a little while, that's for sure.
I would think that if the mother was eating them while she was pregnant, eating nuts and things like that, it would help. I don't know.
I mean, isn't that the same as going, oh, you ate Brussels sprouts and you should love Brussels sprouts?
Right.
Because I ate them when
or-
you were pregnant.
Right. The baby doesn't come out wanting a Marlboro Red either. So, I mean, you got that.
Right.
Just saying. Man who invaded Nancy Pelosi's house apologizes. The judge who sentenced David DePop to 30 years in prison says she made an error by not giving him a chance to speak in court back in May. Now, he got his chance yesterday, and he said, I'm sorry. Partly so, might get his sentence reduced, but the judge was unmoved and resentenced him to the same 30 years. Of course, that's the guy that broke into the house and beat the man with a hammer.
Have you seen that video where he smacks him with a hammer? You're like, damn.
No. Lastly here, Sapulpa Route 66 Auto Museum is offering free admission to first responders. The heart of Route 66 Auto Museum in Sapulpa is offering free admission to first responders and their families May 28th through June 1st. First Responders Week is meant to highlight the important contributions the workers play in the community. The museum says police officers, paramedics, firefighters, and other emergency personnel can bring their IDs or wear their uniforms and receive free admission. Family members can also get in free, but you have to come with them.
The Texans are rewarding one of their young playmakers with a massive contract extension. Houston is signing wide receiver Nico Collins to a 3-year, $72.75 million deal that includes $52 million guaranteed. The contract for Collins has a maximum value of $75 million. The 25-year-old totaled 80 receptions for 1,297 yards and 8 touchdowns in 15 games last season. He was selected by the Texans in the 3rd round of the 2021 NFL Draft out of Michigan. The Bengals are without 2 of their premier playmakers to begin organized team activities. Cincinnati wide receivers Jamar Chase and T. Higgins were not present for the start of team workouts on Tuesday. Higgins has yet to sign the franchise tag that was placed on him by the team earlier this offseason, while Chase is eligible for a massive contract extension following his first 3 NFL seasons. Defensive tackle Sheldon Rankins and projected starting right tackle Trent Brown also sat out the start of OTAs. The Bengals will hold workouts on Wednesday and Thursday before wrapping up OTAs with 3 sessions next week. The baseball record books are about to undergo a big change. According to USA Today, all the former Negro League players will have their statistics officially incorporated into Major League Baseball's historical records. The addition of Negro League stats officially makes Hall of Fame catcher Josh Gibson one of the greatest of all time. Gibson, who spent his entire career in the Negro Leagues, is now MLB's new all-time career leader in batting average, slugging percentage, OPS, and holds the all-time single-season records in each of those categories. And the heavyweight championship rematch between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk will take place on December 21st in Saudi Arabia. Chairman of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority announced just this morning. Usyk became undisputed heavyweight champion when he beat Fury via a split decision victory in their first highly anticipated fight earlier this month. One judge scored the fight 114-113 for Fury, but was overruled by scores of 114-113 and 115-112 for the Ukrainian. Usyk is the first unified heavyweight champion since Lennox Lewis defeated Evander Holyfield back in 1999. It was a rematch in Vegas. Meanwhile, it was Fury's first defeat of his professional career. Fury said in the ring after their first fight that he'll look to correct his record in the rematch.
Interesting. That'll be an interesting fight because he'll come back and either be the guy we've seen him be or we now know his career's over.
Mm-hmm. He did say after that fight he had a couple of good rounds, but overall I think I should have won that.
Yeah. Why would a fighter say anything different in a split decision?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tonight, the Dallas Stars take a 2-1 series lead up north as the Edmonton Oilers try to even things up in the NHL Western Conference Finals Series or risk putting themselves in a serious hole. The face-off is at 7:30 p.m., which with action seen on TNT, True TV, and Max. And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by the award-winning service of Groundworks Tulsa. More of the big.
Had a thing. They were like these rubber balls with handles, and you would jump on them, right? And you would have races with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is that, except it is for the ladies.
That's so weird.
It's a Swiss ball dildo. This is Gimpy has shown me the one he has before, which I ran, and this is the accommodator.
The accommodator.
You know,
huh?
if you're familiar with that chin strap.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do. And then probably the mildest one on this list would be the Clone a Willy dildo kit.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those before.
Pretty mild.
Yeah. Thought about using it, you know.
I don't know how it would work.
What do you mean?
So have you ever seen like in Hobby Lobby they have those plaster Paris where you make the plaster Paris of like you holding your
Yes.
baby's
Absolutely.
hand or like you put your kid's foot in it.
Yeah, I did that in art class with my little hand. I know exactly what you're
Fantastic.
talking about.
That would be this, except it comes in a tube, and the idea is you do what you have to do, and then you do the mold, and then it sets, and then you. I don't hair.
Yeah.
2, any sort of deviation from what's happening in a sexual moment for me, it's over.
Right. So your dildo would come out all weird and deformed, pretty much, basically.
Or smaller than the representation.
Well, what am I going to do with this thing, huh?
And do you tell people it didn't work? Like, I couldn't do it.
That's why you read the reviews first, right?
And I don't know anybody that's done it, so I can't. I know they sell them,
Oh, yeah.
so I'm sure someone's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, it was great."
I'll get one over the weekend, put one together, bring it in for you Monday.
You don't have to bring it in. You could just give me the verbal review.
Drunk Florida man kicked out of bar, returns and attacks bar owner with belt. This happened last weekend in West Palm Beach. A 37-year-old man kicked out of the bar for being too intoxicated, but quickly returned wielding a firearm, according to an affidavit. Fabio Lano Sanchez, arrested by Palm Beach Sheriff's Office. According to records, he was released on last Wednesday with a $60,000 bond amount. He arrived to the area on July 23rd around 2 a.m. The owner of the bar said that he shows up, he was a little drunk, then he got too drunk, and he started harassing customers. So they asked the man to leave. He left to his car but came back with a firearm. He pointed it directly at the bar owner and said, "I will shoot you." And then he threatened to shoot the bar's security. Well, then Sanchez decided, I'm going to just take off my belt, and started swinging it at the bar owner. He hit him multiple times. A security guard began fighting with the suspect, and the bar owner began fearing for his life. He told deputies that that's when he called 911. And they showed up, arrested him, said he was going to kill everybody. The owner had an injury on his finger from the belt. The guy himself did not have any injuries. The suspect had some scrapes and bruises on his face in his mugshot, though.
That's a very underrated weapon.
Absolutely,
A belt is, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you could do some damage with a belt. Trust me, I know. But to use it in like a street fight is not something you see every day. You hear about guns, knives, crowbars, baseball bats. I appreciate this guy for whipping out his belt.
Yeah, if you're good, like that whole towel whip, you know, that
Yeah.
people, if you can do that with a belt.
You could whip the S out of
Yeah,
somebody. And you don't even have
especially
to
if it's
towel
leather.
whip them with it. You could whip them like a slave. Crap. You know, right across the face. That's going to
Get
hurt.
the buckle.
Oh, yeah. Well, the buckle's good for handle.
Oh, that's true.
I guess
I think of the scene from Indiana Jones
Okay.
when Jones is in the street and the guy has the sword and he goes,
He's all over here.
and he just pulls out his gun and shoots him.
Right.
So
Well, everybody knows you don't bring a belt to a gunfight. However,
apparently you do.
the owner didn't have a gun.
One of them had a gun, right?
Yeah,
he
the
did,
bad
yeah.
guy had a gun, but he
Yeah.
decided not to use the gun. I'm going to go a little bit lighter. I'm going to take my belt off and whoop him like a step kid.
I've got the longest running game shows in television history.
Fun.
You want to guess one?
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy's on here.
Yeah, Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune, of course.
Mm-hmm.
That's
The
what brought
Price
us.
is Right.
Price is Right, of course.
Okay, so those are the three basics. What about Press Your Luck?
No.
Yeah.
So, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Really?
22 years. Password, 23 years.
The Pyramid.
What's My Line? 24 years. Pyramid, 25 years. Let's Make a Deal, 35 years.
Wow.
Now, does that count? Because it wasn't 35 years consecutive. It was
Right.
It was the Monty guy for a while, and then they brought it back with Wayne Brady. So I guess mash them together, it works.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be consecutive, like Price is Right, Wheel of Fortune, and Jeopardy. Those are all consecutive years.
Yeah, I think if you work at KMOD and then take a break and come back, you get X number of years,
Okay.
right?
Alrighty then.
Ooh.
Family Feud, 40 years.
Okay.
I was
Wheel of Fortune, 48 years. Jeopardy, 54 years. This show I've never heard of because it's in another country. Des Charifs et de Lettres.
Sure, easy for
Numbers and Letters, 56 years. It's still on today. Price is Right, 60 years.
So that's the longest. Price is Right.
Price is Right, yeah,
Wow.
is the longest one. Or is it going to be a thing that comes out like it did with Bob Barker that he had to kind of step away because
He old.
he like a miscusi.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Yeah. Well, it was a different time then.
Right. It changes. Empathy towards humans.
All right.
60 years is a long time, though, for a game show.
Yeah, for sure. It just makes me wonder how long those are going to be on. Are they going to keep doing it? They're going to revamp it, make it different so they can keep that name going? Because really, that's all that people are going because of the name. People are watching because of the name, because they watched it growing up, you know. Everybody knows that when you're sick and you're staying home from school, you're watching The Price is Right.
Yeah.
You know?
I think shows like Price is Right is a different game show, obviously, than like Jeopardy or Wheel, because they have to technologically evolve.
Okay.
They have to evolve the show and the games.
Right.
You can have some classics, but you've got to introduce new games on Price is Right, because technology changes and people's understanding of things changes.
That makes sense.
Wheel of Fortune, it's spin a wheel, earn points. Now,
the
how
same
they
game.
derive the letters and things like that, or on Jeopardy, can obviously change. But overall, it's the same game.
Yeah. There's no need to change it.
Tic-tac-toe, celebrity tip, whatever, doesn't last because you get annoyed. You get annoyed with just because you're famous doesn't mean you're awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Hollywood Squares.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And some of these other shows, that's why I like Pyramid, and like it runs its exhaustion level. That's why they don't do just Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. You want to see people that are like, quote unquote, you win.
Right. It gives you hope
Absolutely.
and a chance that you could be on that show someday and you could win that money.
The number of people that are like, to know someone to be on Wheel of Fortune is rare. Think about all the times they come through and recruit people, and then how many people from here actually get on the show? Not very many, if you think about it. So where do those people come from? Well, they recruit people. Some are up and coming actors. Like
Okay.
they tried because they have to fill it. Lindsay's tried to be on game shows before. One of the hardest parts about being on a game show is that you have to fly out on your own, put yourself up, and you might get on the show.
Right. They don't pay for you to be out there until you finally make the final cut.
And when you're on the show, you might just get the minimum, which is like $1,000 now or something like that, which you're
Yeah.
like, that's a lot. It is a lot. Not after hotel and airfare and expenses.
In California.
In anywhere.
Yeah.
You go to any hotel, you're not gonna, even if you're gonna stay at the Comfort Inn.
Right.
And if you are, it's still $200. You're there a week. That's $1,000. It doesn't matter where it's at. You ain't staying at the Sunnyside Inn with the satellite dish painted yellow.
Right. With all the crackheads and whores.
Well, I mean, you can get that anywhere, any hotel, right? I saw this story circulating today about TikTok doctors warning the number one position for penile fractures. Number one, 50. I want to make sure I get that. I would hate to fumble this. It's the most dangerous sex position, according to science. It's the cause of 50% of penile fractures. 50.
That's a lot.
So of all the penile fractures that happen, half are because of this sex position. What do you think, Lindsay?
Doggy style.
Okay, Gimpy?
I am going to say it is the reversed cowgirl,
It is the reverse cowgirl.
which is my favorite by far.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, all of them are good.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even plain old vanilla is good.
Yeah. Yeah. The line of great is pretty thin from a guy's standpoint.
Right?
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias will be at the Cove at River Spirit Casino on Friday, June 19th. And you can sign up to win tickets at the website that rocks, KMOD.com. Good luck.
He was just on Celebrity Wheel of Fortune last night.
Yeah, he was.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Well, good morning, Corbin. Rocklahoma is going to be here soon. Labor Day weekend prior, USA. Get your full lineup. You link for tickets at KMOD.com.
All right, let's do fill in the blank news. I will read a headline, leave part of it out. You guys have to guess what the blank part should be. First one, blank World War II veteran attends Memorial Day Orioles game. I'll help you. Blank-year-old World War II veteran attends Memorial Day Orioles game.
Oh, man, he's got to be pushing, 115 maybe?
I was going to say 104, maybe.
At least, bare minimum, 100. I mean, like 97, maybe.
He's got to be old. I want to say 104.
Let's go with a 34-year-old.
No way.
World War II veteran.
103-year-old World War II veteran William Billy Keys attended the Orioles Memorial Day game at Camden Yards. Mr. Keys sat in the suite level and was welcomed by the governor. During the war, Keys was a member of the primarily African-American 761st Tank Battalion known as the Black Panthers, who liberated 30 towns in a Jewish concentration camp. After the military, Keys became a D.C. police officer and went to work as a teacher for more than 3 decades.
Wow.
19-year-old survives blank foot fall in Washington State. 19-year-old survives blank foot fall in Washington State.
I think I know this one.
I remember seeing the headline. Of course, I didn't read the story, and I'm going to say like a 400-foot fall or something like that, or it was some outrageous number. I was like, well, that's impressive. But at the same time, I watched a TikTok video of walruses falling off of cliffs to get back into the ocean, and they survived.
Okay.
Some of them.
400 feet.
A 19-year-old man is lucky to be alive after falling down a 400-foot canyon in Washington State. For those that aren't sure how tall that is, the Statue of Liberty is 300 feet.
Wow.
The Mason County Sheriff's Office says the man was walking off trail along steep terrain under a bridge when he slipped and fell over the weekend. Police say it's amazing he survived the fall with only minor injuries. Sunken cruise ship in Delta inspired by TV shows blank. Sunken cruise ship in Delta inspired by TV's blank.
Delta Burke. I mean, that's both Deltas. Delta Airline. TV's America's Funniest Home Videos.
TV's, what's that, Below Deck?
Okay.
or
Tanked.
deadliest catch.
New details are coming to light about the sunken cruise ship in the California Delta. The Aurora was once a luxury liner inspired by the hit 70s TV show, The Love Boat. The vessel began taking on water last Wednesday and was leaking diesel fuel into the waterway. Coast Guard officials say its top priority is cleaning up the spill. Former owners bought the vessel from Craigslist ad in 2008 with the hope of restoring this historic ship that once cruised the masses to the Greek islands, Alaska, and South Pacific after World War II. Wilson the man sold the Aurora last October, citing the costly upkeep of the boat. Hey, man, they say the best 2 days of owning a boat are the day you buy it and the day you sell it.
Right.
Right.
Bear named Oreo snacks on blank. Bear named Oreo snacks on blank.
I feel like the obvious answer is Oreos.
Yeah.
But maybe he doesn't like that filling either. So
No.
maybe he's eating Takis or Tzatziki's. Kim and the Sharks. You know?
No, I think that's exactly what he broke in and stole was a big bag of
Funyuns.
Oreos.
Yeah.
And that's why they're calling him Oreo.
A black bear named Oreo found his way into a home to eat his namesake snack. The bear broke into the home in the Southern California foothill community of Monrovia this past weekend. He went straight to the kitchen, grabbed what he wanted, and was caught on video leaving through the back door with the box of cookies in his mouth. The homeowners say Oreo has been going to several properties in the neighborhood, roaming backyards to look for food and to take a dip in swimming pools. World's longest serving blank dies. World's longest serving blank dies.
Well,
Longest serving waitress.
okay.
Long-
Politician or
Oh, yeah.
garbage man. World's longest serving of spaghetti.
Longest, I like the politician.
The Manassas woman who holds the Guinness World Record as the longest serving flight attendant has passed away. Betty Nash died May 17th at the age of 88 after contracting breast cancer. She started her career with Eastern Airlines in 1957 and moved to American during their merger in 1990. Nash was a familiar face for travelers on flights between Reagan National and New York and Boston over nearly 7 decades of service. She kept a full work schedule until she fell ill this past spring.
Goodbye, old friend.
Blank-year-old arrested after terrorizing California neighborhood with slingshot. Blank-year-old arrested after terrorizing California neighborhood with slingshot.
It's about time they caught that Dennis the Menace.
Right. 12-year-old?
That 9-year-old. No, it is probably going to be something like a 40-year-old or something like that. Out there just terrorizing neighborhoods with a slingshot.
Yeah. I don't know. What are you using a slingshot for?
All kinds of
Squirrels?
things.
Terrorizing a neighborhood?
I never used one.
Yeah. Squirrels, birds,
Say 13-year-old.
neighbors.
An elderly California man is behind bars after he reportedly terrorized his neighborhood with a slingshot for more than 10 years.
Oh,
Wow.
damn, man.
Prince Raymond King, 81, was taken into custody late last week after he spent the previous decade using his slingshot to smash windows, damage vehicles, and scare his neighbors and cause other problems, according to the police. Quote, "We conducted a lengthy investigation and learned that during the course of 9 to 10 years, dozens of citizens were being victimized by a serial slingshot shooter." According to the police department, he broke windows, windshields, and almost struck people with ball bearings. In the arrest, officers seized his slingshot and a number of ball bearings. Police say he is currently being held with no bond. Arrest records reveal. 81.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means he started when he was 71.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't ever think it's too late.
No.
Right.
And a slingshot is not an easy. I mean, they say your strength goes as you get older.
Right. Be able to have to pull that thing back and then let it fly. But I mean, if that's what he's doing, he's just working out those muscles all the time, right? Surely he's got the arm strength to.
The pinch
use
and
the
pull,
slug.
right? You're doing two muscle works at the same, multiple muscle works at the same time.
Yeah.
Like atrophy's a thing. And 81, it definitely exists.
Oh, absolutely. But
I don't think he was the old fit guy you saw on television.
No, but maybe that's been his weapon of choice since he was like 6. And that's all he carries around. You know, he's like, who needs
His
guns
back
when I got
pocket.
a slingshot? Exactly.
Or do you think maybe he was like cleaning out old boxes in his basement and he found it and he was like, oh, this old thing, I'm going to use this.
And then for a decade, shot out neighbors' windows.
Right. Uh-huh.
Right, because he's a menace.
Or a little senile, yeah.
Or he thought he saw something.
Yes.
Or during the day, he goes and like fixes their mailbox and says hello to the little kids and hands out ice cream. And then at night, he terrorizes them like
Yeah.
he's living 2 lives.
I think
Or
that's
he'd been
fantastic.
doing it for so long, like he had been fixing people's mailboxes or whatever and went unappreciated and he was over it.
Or that's how he's getting his business, by breaking out windows and stuff.
That's
you know?
how he does it.
Yeah, I see that your window's broken there. I could fix it for you.
Blank faced backlash over sudden tour cancellation. Blank faced backlash after sudden tour cancellation.
Well, I mean, that could be a number of Guns N' Roses, or I'm trying to think of who's on tour right now.
Canceled.
Aerosmith.
Aerosmith?
Yeah. Could see that. The Black Crowes.
Motley Crue?
Alanis Morissette.
What?
Yeah.
Pink?
Maybe the Bee Gees.
I don't think the Bee Gees are touring. A BG might be touring.
Right.
Right.
One.
The Black Keys are facing criticism over their sudden cancellation of their American Arena tour. The band had originally made no announcement that the tickets were withdrawn, and ticket outlets posted call-off notices for the International Players Tour. Fans accused the band of setting unrealistic prices for tickets, with them costing between $100 and $300. They also accused the Black Keys of being unrealistic with trying to play an arena of that size. One fan said, whoever thought booking this band in arenas in 2024 should be fired. Tickets were removed on Sunday, and the band addressed it on Monday, saying they're going to make changes to the North American leg. Will be announcing a revised set of dates soon.
They're good enough for arena tours. Ooh. I mean, they did a good job at the BOK Center a few years back. So.
Yeah. Here's the thing that I don't think people realize is I don't think the band goes, we're going to play arenas. Their management company goes to a company like Live Nation.
Right.
And Live Nation goes, we'll give you $1 million for your tour. You're going to give us 20 dates.
Right.
And then they go back and forth on parameters. And then the band promoter gives them $1 million, like in advance. And then they do the tour.
Right.
And where they get booked is where they get booked.
Right.
And a place like Live Nation has multiple relationships in big arenas. They set the ticket price. And then they start making the band, they go, all right, we gave you $1 million. Hey, this show, we spent this much on security. So we back that out. Now you owe us this much money. It is a giant, if you think the band's getting away with murder.
Right.
You need to dig into what happens in the promotion business nowadays with bands. They get screwed. Now, maybe the Black Keys were doing it on their own.
Right.
But typically that is how it works is bands get, they get an advance and then they don't know where they're playing. They just,
Right.
the promoter deals with all that.
No wonder the ticket prices are so high.
Kings of Leon earned blank top 10 album on the Billboard chart. Kings of Leon earns their blank top 10 on the Billboard chart.
First?
I want to say they've had more than just one on the top 10 on the Billboard chart.
They might have had a top 10 single, but their entire album? I don't know.
Yeah. Let's go with fifth. I'm going to be positive. Earns their fifth.
I'm going to say first.
Kings of Leon are earning another top 10 on Billboard's top album sales chart. The band's 9th album, Can We Please Have Fun, made its debut at number 3 on the chart. This marks their 6th top 10 on the specific chart. 6. I'm a Kings of Leon fan, and I was shocked at 6. It also landed in the top 10 on several other charts, including top rock and alternative albums, top rock albums, and top current album sales charts. Blank Show in Munich, Struck by Lightning.
Oh.
So band name, Blank Show in Munich, Struck by Lightning.
Rammstein. Aqua. Tool. A Perfect Circle. Metallica.
Slipknot.
Right Said
here.
Fred. God's like, I am so tired of that damn song. Come up with something new.
Metallica's show in Munich had a very special guest, Lightning. The May 24th show saw the legendary band hit with heavy rain. During the closing song, Master of Puppets, Lightning appeared in the sky, and I do have the clip so you guys can see it. I sent a video showing Lars playing in the rain. It's a badass video. And then the video of the lightning strike in the background while they're playing Master of Puppets. Pretty cool. If that happens during, if that happens during Black Keys, you're like, okay. But for some reason with Metallica, it feels totally badass.
That's an album
Like it's meant
cover
to
right
happen.
there, right?
Sorry, I couldn't hear everybody talking.
It almost looks like it's meant to happen during a Metallica show.
Yes.
Jack White, blank, rumors fly. Jack White, blank, rumors fly.
Well, he's been
Divorce?
solo for a while, so there's no solo rumors. Unless it is a divorce, and then he will be flying solo.
Yeah.
Or tour, going on tour.
Ooh.
That would make sense.
Retirement?
Okay. Can move here to Tulsa. He seems to like Tulsa a lot.
I believe he has a house here.
Yeah, see?
Is Jack White collaborating with Eminem? Yesterday, the White Stripes lead singer and guitarist shared a random post consisting of 3 photos of Eminem rocking a Prime hoodie. He didn't include a caption, leaving people guessing as to what the post could actually be about. Speculation ran wild in the comments section with remarks like, if there's a collab here, the entire planet will faint all at once. And, what if Jack is on Eminem's new album that's coming out soon? Last Monday, Eminem shared a cryptic tweet that included a photo of a text message with the vanishing effect revealing the words, and for my last trick, that date was May 31st, 2024 at 12 a.m.
I'd seen something that Eminem was teaming up with Reba as well, and I was like, well, that's interesting.
It's not out of the realm that he could do a collab album and then be done.
And I think with that, because the new album's going to be called The Death of Slim Shady, that may be what's happening here. And so that wouldn't surprise me, him doing off-the-wall collaborations with Jack White, Reba McEntire, God knows who else.
I mean, he has said that he is not in it anymore. Like,
he's like, I've had my fun. I'm good. I'm out.
Yeah. And
which good for him.
Yeah, 51 feels like a good time to be like, yeah, I'm good. What do you think his net worth is?
I was just about to ask the same thing. I'm going to say Eminem's got a net worth of $250 million.
I'd say $1 billion.
$1 billion?
$1 billion.
He's in the Beyonce Taylor Swift world.
I think so.
He is not. Not even close. Gimpy got it right. $250 million.
Okay. I didn't even look.
Lizzie Hale says new music is blank. Lizzie Hale says new music is blank.
Hot garbage.
I was going to say.
The inflection is so important. Lizzie Hale says new music is blank. New music is blank.
New music is on the way. Okay. I could see that because when was the last time Hailstorm had an album out or a new song?
Right.
So I could see that new music is on the way.
Is hard to do.
Hailstorm's frontwoman Lizzie Hale is talking about the band's next album. In a new interview, the singer was asked if she thinks the band will release some new music this year or fans will have to wait until next year. She said, you know what? I've learned this. I can make all the promises in the world. I would love to do that. I'm hoping that we will have at least something to show you before the end of the year, but I know how this goes. I end up promising dates, and then something happens, and some recall from mastering or something doesn't work out with numbers or whatever it is. So I'm not making promises, but I will tell you that it will be worth the wait.
Fun.
I mean, yeah, she's got to say that, right? Yeah, I mean, we may. I don't know. Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah.
Theater apologizes over blank appearance. Theater apologizes over blank appearance.
Theater apologizes.
Over orangutan appearance.
Who's not supposed to appear in a theater?
John Wilkes Booth. I think he's been banned for life
Yeah.
in all theaters.
Physically.
Yeah.
Right.
Loud cell phone ringing.
A Massachusetts theater is apologizing over the behavior of actor Richard Dreyfuss at a special screening of Jaws over the weekend. Dreyfuss reportedly ranted about women in film, the Me Too movement, and transgender kids, prompting some in the audience at the Cabot Theater to walk out. After the event, the Cabot issued a statement of regret over the actor's comments, saying his views do not reflect our beliefs. One, he's been known to go on rants about whatever topic his opinion is. Two, why is he there?
Why are they showing Jaws?
I mean, it's a
timeless
classic.
It is.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's timeless.
Yes.
It's cinematic magicry, right? It's brilliant. It's a brilliant movie.
Yeah, and he was a main actor in it, so I mean, maybe they're like, hey, we can get Richard Dreyfuss in to talk and comment, and that'll draw more people in.
Him and Rob Schneider feel like they don't miss an opportunity with a microphone.
Rob Schneider.
Last one. According to study, tattoos increase the risk of blank. According to study, tattoos increase the risk of blank.
Ink poisoning.
Heart disease.
Douchery.
Gingivitis. Increase the risk of
Affliction. Wear.
Panties falling off.
get laid. Yeah, come on. You not show off your new tattoo and just watch them slide right off, or the steam raising off of them? Yeah.
Cancer.
Getting a tattoo can apparently increase the risk of developing lymphoma. A new study out of Sweden found that people who had a tattoo of any size had a 21% higher risk of getting blood cancer. The risk was highest amongst those who had gotten their first tattoo within the past 2 years. Really fascinating.
Yeah. I wonder if that's because of something in the ink, like within the last couple of years, or what?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, they need more review if that's true. 2 years.
Yeah, for sure.
Feels usually it's like, oh, if you've had one for 10 years.
Yeah.
My question is, what doesn't cause cancer? You know, it seems like everything does.
Yeah.
And we're not safe from anything.
Well, aren't you fun at parties?
Yeah, I mean, right? So just do what makes you happy.
Okay.
Honestly.
We're going to take a break.
Go get some cancer?
We'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show continues next. The Big Mad Morning.
The cast. Oof.
Right.
Not something I'm signing up for.
Right.
And having it removed. Pass. Hard pass.
Right, where they break out
Soft
that
pass.
saw. Yeah. It won't cut you. Not taking a chance there, Doc. Teen arrested for setting hotel fire after fighting with mom. This also comes out of Florida, Ocala, Florida, where I guess a 16-year-old girl got in a fight with her mom at like 3:30 in the morning and then goes down into the lobby and sets a sofa on fire. So the police and the ambulance and the fire trucks, everybody comes out, all these emergency crews or whatever. All 320 residents of the hotel, all the guests, were evacuated at 3:30 in the morning.
The witching hour.
So the firefighters came in, and they're battling through the smoke-filled lobby, and they find the fire, the source of it. The couch is on fire. They put it out with their little water can. They say that the damages cost a couple of $100,000 to this couch, and the wall that was behind it totally scorched, burnt up. Pictures are on our Facebook page. They ended up arresting the girl. They didn't say what the girl and the mom were fighting over, and they didn't say what led to, her wanting to set the couch on fire. My guess is probably just angry teen and probably had some alcohol involved in there somewhere. That's just my theories on it. Nonetheless, they went ahead and arrested her for arson, and the investigation continues.
So many things on this.
Mm-hmm.
They don't let you get your luggage. Like, you went out of the hotel, and then they're like, you can't go back in.
Right.
So you got to go find a place without your stuff.
Right.
Wallet probably.
Right.
Credit cards probably.
Maybe your phone.
And so all you're in is your skirt, your tidy whities or whatever.
So you're talking about the 320 guests that were evacuated. They did let them all go back in. All the guests were allowed to go back into their room and go back to sleep after it was all said and done.
I'm shocked by that because the sprinkler system has gone off.
But just
and it flooded the floor.
The lobby area, though. Just the first floor and that lobby area. Anybody
still feels like danger, Will
2
Robinson.
through 9. Oh, I totally get you. Smoke damage, smoke inhalation, whatever. I was surprised that they let them all go back in as well, but that's what they said.
Dude, I was unaware that sprinkler systems in a building go off by floor.
Yeah, I thought it was all automatic
at one time.
everywhere.
Yeah. Maybe this is a different one. But the story did say that they let all 320 guests or everybody that was evacuated go back to their room later on that morning, probably about 5:30 or so. Still, 3:30 in the morning, you woke up, you're probably on vacation.
Sure.
You gotta evacuate. Everybody go meet in the parking lot over there by the fourth
Bob Evans.
street light.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And then you're waiting there for hours. After they get everything cleaned up,
Smoke fills the whole place.
Oh yeah. And they're like, you can go back. I'd probably be like, okay, I'm gonna go get my stuff, and I'm gonna check out and go find another place. And then we'll deal with reimbursement after this.
All right. Then the other thing I was thinking about, your kid does this. What do you do?
What's the punishment?
Right. We'll deal with this when we get home.
How old was the girl?
16.
Yeah, like, what do you do?
You're grounded. Grounded
no
for
screens.
Arson.
Yeah.
Right. She's 16 and went to jail for arson. So chances are this parent or the parents are going to be like, well, she went to jail and she's being charged. And they're probably going to take out the couple $100,000 worth of damage out of her allowance.
That's a whole... Well, yeah, right?
Right.
It feels too late. Like, she's
so give up.
already...
Okay. Give up on your kid. Okay.
No. I'm not saying that.
You're a lost cause. I tried
that's
for
what you
6
said.
years.
It's too late.
Why don't you go live on the streets with the rest of the crackheads?
No, but I mean, like, it's too late to be like, you're grounded for, you know what I mean? Like,
well, typically punishments come after the infraction.
Sure, but she's in jail.
It'd be weird to ground your kid like you're a precog or something for something that hasn't happened yet.
She's in jail.
I don't know what you did yet, but you're grounded. I know you're going to do something. You're grounded.
I hope jail kind of wakes her up a bit.
Well, she's not going to jail.
She did. They arrested her.
But she went to juvie.
Right.
Okay.
And she probably may not spend a whole lot of time
which
in
is an education system.
Right.
I mean, there's probably going to be big time fine. She's going to have to go to court.
Her parents will pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She will not be paying. That's what I'm saying. Like, she is going to be released probably to their
she'll be paying
supervision.
It back. If she's my kid.
No, she won't be paying back.
If she's my kid, she is.
No.
She's going to be working it off. Hard labor.
For 40 years?
Busting rocks in the backyard.
This isn't you bought her an iPhone.
Right.
Chink.
This is, as Gimpy said,
If not 2 commas, it is definitely 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
She would be paying back forever.
You owe me every paycheck for the rest of your life.
Well, that makes no sense either.
When you retire, I want your retirement. I want your 401k.
See what I'm saying? Like, it just creates all these questions.
There's only 2 ways that you can pass a whiz quiz without using some kind of illegal substance. And that is one.
Broccoli?
No.
Oh.
Just naturally stopping. Okay. And cleaning yourself out.
Surefire, yeah.
Absolutely. That's like, abstinence is the only way to guarantee not getting pregnant. Nonetheless, the other way, which is only good for like an hour or 2, maybe a day, is a flush. And that's just to drink a buttload of water, because when you do that, you're not urinating anything for your task, but just straight water.
Well, that's why when you buy those pee cleans, they're like, drink a ton of water, because it isn't that. It's the flushing. Have you ever taken a marijuana drug test, Lindsay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I passed.
Okay, what's the story? Like,
just for a background check for a job. But I don't.
in radio?
Yeah. Mhm.
Really?
Yeah. The first radio station I ever worked at in South Dakota.
Huh.
Yeah. But at the time, I was 20 years old, so I wasn't really into pot so much, so it wasn't a big deal.
I didn't do the marijuana at the time.
And also, yes, I had to take one when I started substitute teaching. So back in Indiana, I had to take one. And again, I wasn't, even back then, a heavy pot smoker. So it wasn't enough, like, in my system to even worry
Are you a heavy
about
pot
it.
smoker now?
No, I'm
okay.
not.
Well,
So-
I just you were implying that you weren't, so I didn't know if you were
So
now.
I've never
More of a
had
pot
to
eater.
worry about it. Yeah, it's never been in my system enough to even worry about it.
Gimpy, you said 1. How many have you taken total in your whole?
1 to get a job at Target.
Huh.
No, excuse me. I just lied to you. Sorry, the other job. 2, as a matter of fact.
MOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. I need your guys' help with something. Apparently this TV anchor, they say she swallowed a fly
Oh, no.
live on air. And I'm not 100% convinced that's what happened. So this happened on Boston 25. And she is doing the news, and it looks like there's a fly, like, almost in her eye. And you can see it kind of like, she blinks kind of fast. It moves away. And then it kind of falls down, and then it kind of just, and it just goes in her mouth. And it looks like her mouth closes, but it also looks like maybe she spits it out. Some are saying it's a part of her eyelash. It might be fake. I don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't look like a fly. For a fly to just fall like that, I don't think. Because what do they normally do? They fly.
Yeah, it's not dead, but it fell like almost like she turned and like deliberately did it. Oh, that time it looked like it went right in the middle of her mouth.
Right.
What do you think, Lindsay?
I don't think it's a fly. It looks more like maybe a jumping spider or something.
Okay, did she eat it?
I definitely went into her mouth. It definitely did.
Gimpy?
I'm watching it again because it does look like she spit it out there for a second. But at the same time, it kind of looked, maybe she did. Whatever it was, I think that she swallowed it.
That is professionalism at its finest. She just kept on going.
I don't know, because when I saw this, the news anchor was like, "Oh, she's quite the professional," or she's a sicko.
Right.
No one would ever go, "You're not professional," because a fly flew into your mouth, and you were like, "Bleh." No one would ever go, "You're not professional."
Was it like the Mexican president or something like that a couple years back? He was giving a speech or something like that, and a fly was buzzing around or a bee or something like that, and he just and then kept on giving his speech.
Yeah, he did that as a flex, though.
That is pretty badass.
Is it?
I don't go
You're not
running
Miyagi
around.
in it.
Right. Catching it with chopsticks. I understand. But when was the last time a fly was just buzzing around your face hole and you're like, help? And then went on about your business?
I just don't care, I guess. I don't DEF it to like, I should eat this and show my alpha.
Right.
So how badass I am. Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't, I don't think it's a fly. It looks like it's part of her eyelash falling apart because that's why it appears she's so calm. You get a fly, and she's reading a teleprompter. So if she gets a fly in her eye, like I would think it would disrupt you to a degree, visually, audibly, something.
Yeah. You'd start something because, like, what is this crawling around in my eyeball right now? Yeah.
Plenty of anchors, like, will adjust their hair or do something while they're in delivery.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be out of the realm if there was a fly for her to reach up and touch her eye to get it out of her eye.
But if it were part of her eyelash, her eyes would look different. And her eyelashes, to me, don't look any different.
Yeah, I'm not an expert on spiders on the eyes, so I'm not sure.
Spider eyes. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever it is, it definitely went into her mouth and down her throat.
I don't know.
Or her tongue or something.
Yeah, pushed it off to the side and was like, I'm just going to spit it out later.
Yeah, that's the other part for me on why I think it's an eyelash is she knew what it was, so it didn't freak her out.
Right.
I don't know very many people that a fly doesn't fly into their mouth and they're not like, eh.
Right? I accidentally swallowed a fly, pooped it out later, and it freaked me out.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I can't have that detail out.
It passed through, and I'm like,
There
that's
you go.
weird. That's weird. That weirded me out. Like, why?
Yeah, you'd need to question your gut health.
Right?
That you're not digesting things
Well,
properly.
I mean, there are some vegetables that do the same process.
This ain't a vegetable, though.
But I understand.
Not a fibrous
completely.
vegetable. It's not a jicama.
Right.
Yeah, it looks like she swallowed the fly for sure. And you don't see the fly show up,
Right. It's just it's been there for a while.
which is also why I think it's an eyelash or part of her mascara crumbling apart.
Okay. I didn't even
Could
think
be
about the makeup.
Yeah, it could be an eyelash crumble, but
And that's another thing. If it's makeup and it goes in her mouth, a giant clump of mascara falls, it would taste horrendous.
yeah.
And that would be another distraction. Unless she's so used to eating makeup, that is just another thing for her. That would make sense.
I'm not 100% on the it's real thing.
Yeah, very well could be.
Because all the videos look like this. It's a video of a video. Mm-hmm. So I'm not 100% on board that this is 100% happened in real time.
If it is real, good for her for catching it.
Sure. I'm telling you right now, if there's a fly, us clown asses,
Right.
a siren goes down the road and we're like, duh, squirrel.
Right.
All right, we got to take a break. We got our top 5 songs coming up.
Tulsa's Morning Show. The Big
Siggy's, he's in jail on $15,000 bond. Really just a reason to play Peter Gabriel.
Absolutely.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. That song right there, when I was DJing at Rumors, the second swingers club that I was at, that was the boss's favorite. And I swear I would hear it at least 4 times a night. And I'm like, can I please stop playing Peter Gabriel?
Did he come over and be like, hey, man,
Where's my song?
play Sledgehammer?
can
I
you-
want to hear.
Can you throw on some Sledgehammer for me? Sure thing, Bobby. Gotcha.
Right. I always love when there's like a DJ who's wiki spinning. That is an art.
is.
Yeah.
DJing and picking songs in a selected format to try and get people to dance on the dance floor or to create a certain energy in a room is 100% an art.
Yeah.
And then you got someone coming over going, "Hey man, will you play the Macarena?" And they're like, "Oh," because you don't want to say no, but you do.
I'll see what I can do for you.
Yeah.
That's it. I'll see what I can do for you. And then they're like, well, here's a crispy Lincoln for you. And I'm like, ugh, all right, fine. I'll pay your Macarena for $5.
$5 to have some.
$5.
That's that feels stupid to me.
Well, it's better than what some of the people do. They would pay nothing or $1 to play.
That feels
Listen,
$1 feels fair.
Maybe, but we live on tips. God damn it.
You made.
Not necessarily, but
Wait,
it
hold on,
helps out
Sonic employee.
tremendously.
What are you talking about?
I got my wages, yes, but the tips were always good and always appreciated.
Of course.
So here's the thing.
You said you made your living off tips, which implied you did not make a salary. You did not make money.
I mean, I did, but it helped add towards the living that I'm making these
Of
tips
course.
here.
Like, we should then get tips.
Shouldn't we, though? I love it. No, we can't leave a jar out front. The hobos will take it.
What was the
Nonetheless.
biggest tip?
His
More
name
than he
was
can
Tony.
handle.
He was about 6'7", 450 pounds.
Biff.
Massive.
Biff, what is his name? Tiny.
Ooh. I think the biggest tip giggity that I got was, I think it was like a $20 bill. Yeah, it was a $20.
For one song?
For one song. Yeah. Those drunk bitches, man, when they want to hear it, they'll pay for it. I'm like,
What's the
"All right."
most you hauled in a night, tip-wise?
Tip-wise, it's like $100.
Damn.
That ain't too awful
not bad.
No.
And I don't have to split that with, like, the other bartenders,
Right.
waitresses, or whatever. That's all me. So that was
Would they split their tips with you?
No, hell no, never. But they had to split it amongst themselves
Sure.
or whatever. So I was total separate entity, got to keep everything.
I've never tipped a DJ ever. Well, I've told him to get out of that career, but I mean,
Yeah.
I've never.
Horrible tip.
That's technically a tip. I've never. No.
Yeah.
Now, if you were did you ever DJ a gentleman's club?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I mean, I'm not saying that I wouldn't or wouldn't have back then, but no.
It's like having to be an employee at a weed store. What are you talking about?
Right.
Right?
That's true. Good point.
Nothing would ever get done. Cinnamon.
to work.
Wait a minute. Who's going to announce Cinnamon? Get off of Cinnamon's lap, Gimpy. Come on.
She likes me, man.
Right.
It told
We're
me.
trying to pay each other's electric bills. Come on.
Predictions that were made in 1923 of what it would be like in 2023, which is,
That's
for
cool.
those that don't know, you're 4 days into it. 1, the workday will be only 4 hours long.
Ha.
Check.
Yeah, right. We got that one, don't we?
It says that because of electricity, work will only be 4 hours long. That's what they said in 1823. Women will blacken their teeth and shave their heads.
Well, I mean, there's some weirdos out there that would do that.
No.
You don't think?
No, there's no one doing. There may be 2,
It doesn't matter.
but it's not a thing.
Yeah. Yes.
It's now predicted that by the year 2023, only a mere little stretch of century ahead, women will probably be shaving their heads, and the men will be wearing curls. Those 2 things are true. Also, the maidens may pronounce it the height of style in personal pimping to blacken their teeth.
That's interesting.
Nope.
They had it wrong. Whiten their teeth, yes.
Whiten.
Yeah, right.
Whiten their teeth,
You're
yeah.
right.
Radio, yes, hi, will replace gasoline.
What?
Okay.
An expert in airlines and airplanes gives, he predicts that by the year 2023, gasoline as a motive power will have been replaced by radio.
Okay.
And the skies will be filled with a myriad aft going over well-verified routes. So he's not wrong, by the way. This is actually happening and true.
Mm-hmm.
The belief, we just didn't understand then how radio waves would affect airplanes.
Right.
Now we know that not to be a problem unless it's your cell phone.
Turn it off.
All people will be beautiful by 2023. I present at least 2 cases, Your Honor.
Be nice to Lindsay.
Life expectancy will be 100 years.
What? People are dying earlier and earlier, man.
No, they're not.
Cut that in half.
No. Life expectancy will be 300 years.
Oh,
my
Jesus.
gosh.
People will wear kidney cozies.
A kidney
What
cozy.
the hell?
Yes, kidney cozies will be worn to protect the kidneys on chilly days, just the same as a teapot in the north is kept warm by a tea cozy.
Okay. Do your kidneys get colder than the rest of your body?
No, but again, when they were doing medicine, one, there weren't doctors like what we know doctors to be now. People would just be like, I'm a doctor.
Right.
Right? And they used to drill holes in women's heads to let out demons. And they thought washing your hands meant you weren't a good doctor.
Right.
The idea was that the bloodstained hands would prove you knew how to do the work.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So men will curl their hair. Yeah, that's been happening for a while.
Yeah.
The old man perm.
The U.S. will have a population of 300 million.
Oh, wow.
Well, I think we surpassed that one.
Yeah. Now have 8 billion.
Fornicating is fun.
It's in 2021, it was 331 million. So it's not a giant. It's not that far off. Canada will have a population of 100 million.
Okay. I don't know what the population of Canada is, but I'm sure it's more than that.
38.2 million.
Yeah.
Utensils will be made of pulp.
Pulp. Okay.
Utensils and dwellings will be manufactured largely of pulp and cements so as to utilize vegetation and stone in every stage of decay, ordinary waste, or unfitness. I mean, it's not wrong, right? Like MDF is a real product.
Uh-huh.
That's pulp, essentially, right?
Yeah. I just don't know if I want to live in a house that's made of pulp and cements.
Flights from Chicago to Hamburg will only take 18 hours.
I've never flown from Chicago to Hamburg, so I do not know.
I think it's like 8 or 10, maybe.
Okay.
Newspapers will have been out of business for 50 years.
Wow. I mean,
They didn't get
they're half right.
Yeah.
Private kitchens will disappear.
Private kitchens.
Yeah, they're citing articles, by the way. I'm reading from an article.
Okay.
The private kitchen will disappear. Tomorrow's food will be seasoned and prepared by chemical formulas.
Hello, Fresh.
Which will preserve the freshness of fruits and meats, rid them of indigestible qualities, and send them to the table ready to use. Instead of sauces that merely cozen the palate, we shall have delectable blends of concentrated vitamins, calories, ferments, and tissue tonics.
Ew.
I mean, we have all that now, right?
Yeah, we do.
Look at like Frank's.
Yeah.
It is a tissue tonic,
Okay.
if you will. The tissue of your tongue.
Got it. Okay.
Cancer will be eradicated.
I wish.
Cancer, tuberculosis, infantile paralysis, locomotor ataxia, and leprosy will be eradicated.
I don't think any of those are eradicated at all whatsoever.
I mean, we pretty much handled tuberculosis pretty well.
Yeah, and I'm sure we got a good
And
handle on
leprosy.
leprosy.
I think leprosy's,
Yeah.
You know, but there's still places in the world. When you say eradicated, I'm thinking it's like gone completely from the world, nowhere around it all whatsoever. And I'm sure there's third world countries where TB's still a thing, where leprosy's still a thing.
War will be wireless, and we might have telepathy or telepathy.
I like telepathic idea, but I mean wireless. Think about it.
War is
Cyber
wireless.
It is
yeah.
wireless, yeah.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. See what Lindsay has for Balls to the Wall Sports.
Oklahoma baseball was announced as the number 9 overall seed on Monday and will host the Norman Regional. It is the first time since 2010 the Sooners will be hosting a regional. Following a season where Oklahoma had their most conference wins in program history, the Sooners were the number 1 seed in the Big 12 tournament and fell in the championship game to Oklahoma State. The Sooners will host Oral Roberts, UConn, and Duke. OU will host the Golden Eagles on Friday. Oklahoma's offensive line took a major hit during spring practices when projected starting center Troy Everett sustained a knee injury during practice on March 27th that required surgery. And then yesterday at the SEC's annual spring meeting in Destin, Florida, Brent Venables provided a brief update on Everett's recovery since undergoing surgery on his right knee on April 3rd. He said Troy's mindset is that he'll be back sometime in September and ahead of schedule. The update from Venables provided a clear timetable for when Everett is expected back in the fray. On April 2nd, when Venables confirmed the injury to Everett was a significant one that required surgery, he estimated that the redshirt junior would be cleared to return by the end of fall camp. Even with that initial timeline, Everett returning for the season opener against Temple on August 30th seemed like a long shot. Now it's confirmed that he isn't expected back until after the start of the season. The Eastern Conference Final is tied after the Panthers topped the Rangers 3-2 in overtime of Game 4. Sam Reinhart scored on the power play just over 1 minute into overtime to lift the Panthers to victory. Sergei Bobrovsky stopped 21 of the 23 shots he faced between the pipes for Florida, which even the best of 7 series at 2 games apiece. New York will look to regain the lead when it hosts the Panthers in Game 5 tomorrow night. And that is your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by the award-winning service of Groundworks Tulsa. More of the Big Mad Morning Show is next.
The Big Mad Morning Show returns next. Tulsa's Morning Show, 97.5.
This is Noel right now,
Yeah.
but I get it.
No, it's
kind of grown attached to him over the years.
It's the mental part.
Yeah.
Right.
If you have one less testicle, you're half a man,
That is true.
and you're gonna feel that way. It's been documented.
Well, some men feel that if they have a vasectomy, they feel like less of a man.
I've never felt that.
Well,
I got 2 reminders.
Right. I'm not saying that you do, but there's some guys out there that,
I've never heard anybody say that. Maybe they do, but I've never heard a guy say that.
well, fortunately for Jack Johnson, he kept his sense of humor. He says that the team season has been a testy one, and we've not been on the ball as we should have been. Yeah. Poor guy.
That's got to be painful.
I'm sure.
Imagine it does.
I'm sure.
Just getting grazed
Oh, yeah.
is a painful experience.
Yeah.
Let alone a testicular rupture.
Yeah.
Band name.
Yeah.
Hello, we are testicular rupture.
Yeah.
It is a good band name.
A guy sprained my ankle, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I pull a muscle. I know. My rotator cuff. I can identify that. It's just painful. That's all I can identify.
That's it.
It's my testicle. It's painful. Full stop.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Nothing
Right?
more, nothing less.
Classic Eddie Murphy, man. Guys get hit in the balls if it's just you barely graze it. Guys will go, "But did that just hit my?"
Is that like when you get it twisted, when one gets twisted? Like,
Oh no,
that's a different thing.
That can happen while you're sleeping.
yeah, that happened to a kid in school, in elementary school.
Yeah.
And he had to have it removed, I think.
It typically, if it can't be, which it's weird to say this with you're using a child reference, is
Yeah.
it has to be massaged.
Oh.
And then, but a surgery sometimes is necessary to untie it.
Testicular torsion
Yeah.
occurs when the testicle rotates, twisting the spermatic cord that brings blood to the scrotum. The reduced blood flow causes sudden and often severe pain and swelling. Testicular torsion is most common between the ages 12 and 18, but can occur at any age, even before birth.
So
Wow.
like what happened is like a Karen went to God and was like, "Hey, this feels hardly fair.
Yeah.
Once a month I'm bleeding. I got to carry a kid and grow an organ inside me and then dispose of it. Can we even this out?" And he's like, "I could tie his balls in a knot for a 6-year period."
Right. Like you gotta
Maybe.
you gotta give him something to worry about. Please.
I'm good. I'm good on all that.
Do you know anybody that's ever gotten that gimpy?
I do. My nephew, as a matter of fact, came out that way and had to have surgery to get it fixed.
Oh, out of the womb.
Yeah.
So they had to do surgery
Yeah.
on a baby.
On a baby. They had to go
On a
cut
baby's
his little
balls.
baby balls open. Yeah.
Listen, they were already doing the top part, so
Right.
Yeah.
Might
at least
as well.
He'll
Just-
never remember it.
Maybe. Yeah.
know?
Maybe deep-seated down in there somewhere. Maybe some hypnotherapy can bring it back. I don't know. But, yeah.
I mean,
bizarre.
I hear you, but psychologically, they say those type of things live with you.
Right.
That you may not remember it, but your brain does.
Yeah. It's stored in the memory bank somewhere deep
Yeah.
down inside.
Yeah. Much like they were like, nah, C-sections are fine. It doesn't affect the baby at all.
That explains what
Nah,
we're up.
it doesn't.
It
How?
absolutely does.
How?
They don't get the gut flora.
You know, that white
They don't.
cheese that's
They
covered
don't
over
get
the baby.
the bacteria from your vagina.
Right.
Vag bag.
They don't.
I get that.
They don't. And so those babies tend to have more digestive problems.
Interesting.
Go down the rabbit hole. Nobody does more C-sections on the planet than America.
We're in a hurry. Turn and burn, man. Turn and burn.
I can't be inconvenienced. I got golf.
Right.
Right.
Tea time at 4 o'clock. Let's get that baby out of here.
What's the strangest type of bird that you'd be willing to eat, such as a shoebill stork? You know what a shoebill stork is, Lindsay?
No.
Look it
I
up.
mean,
Look up shoebill stork. Shoebill stork. It will, if I remember correctly, this is a very bizarre-looking bird. It almost looks human-like.
Giant honking schnoz.
It is terrifying.
Yeah.
It will haunt you in your nightmares. If I remember right, it makes a horrendous sound. A very loud noise. It's not like a beautiful chirping or anything. It's a very loud noise. It's the shoebill stork. You see it?
yeah.
Okay, so what is your pick going to be?
Probably a. What's the one? What are the We call him. My husband calls it a Harry Truman, and that's not what its real name. We see.
Dropping bombs?
Huh?
Is it just dropping bombs everywhere it
No,
flies?
it's the. Now I can't even think of the real name of it. You see them all a blue herring. Is that what it is?
Blue herring.
What? Isn't that a fish?
See them all the time on the.
So it's the ones you see in the ponds, and they got the long
Yes,
legs and stuff
yes.
like that. Yeah.
Piranha.
The heron, yes.
Great blue heron.
Yes.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity.
Gimpy?
Can I say big?
Huh?
Big?
Bird.
Big bird. Okay.
Oh.
If we're going like a legit bird,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the flamingo.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want see if it tastes like shrimp.
Yeah. Flamingo or
That's
roadrunner.
true.
One of the two.
Yeah, why not? That sounds fine. Penguin. I'm down for some penguin.
Oh, yeah. Some fricasseed penguin.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it getting, it's cold. It's right there on the ice.
Right.
Who doesn't? Some good penguin. Yum. I'm going to name some dishes. You give me a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being awesome,
Okay.
and 0 being pass.
Okay.
Okay? Lindsay, you're in on this too.
Okay.
10 being
Let's
awesome,
start.
0
Let's
being
start
nothing.
basic,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Spaghetti. Lindsay.
Oh, 10.
Okay. Gimpy.
3.
Okay. Fettuccine Alfredo. You can
10.
You can say 10.
Could I say 11?
Gimpy?
Oh.
What kind? Is it seafood or is it chicken?
This is just the cheese. This is
Just
no
the
chicken.
sauce
No.
and noodles?
Yeah.
0.
Okay. Manicotti. So manicotti, for those who don't know, it's a ricotta. Mostly the time, it's a ricotta-based filled noodle.
Big ol' honking noodle, too.
It's a 6 for me.
Okay.
That's a 0 for me, dog.
Okay. Stuffed shells.
6.
Okay. Gimpy.
2. 2, if that. I'm struggling for a 2, bro.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Lasagna.
3.
Wow. Gimpy.
Who's making it?
Whoever your favorites is.
It's even my ma's lasagna. That would rank like a 2 or 3 for me, and that's because it's mom's. So lasagna, just in general,
Yeah.
that's a 1.
Chicken Parmesan. Chicken Parmigiana.
9.
Never had it.
What?
Crazy.
It feels crazy.
Yeah. So that's going to be a 0 for me, dog.
Oh my God, dude, chicken. Oh my gosh.
Is it the eggplant and the?
Nope.
That one's good too.
That's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, chicken piccata. Chicken piccata is the lemon chicken. I know. It's lemon.
Yeah, 7.
That's 0.
Oh my God.
Like we went to that fancy Italian place for the boss. What was that, last week? His lunch or whatever. And I'm looking at the menu. I was like,
Mondo's, great Italian restaurant.
Mondo's. I respect them and what they do. It's just Italian is not for me. I'm like, I don't know what to get. Everything on the menu had either mushrooms or lemon on it. And I was just like, what's this stuff with the shrimp? Sounds good. I'll eat the shrimp over the noodles, which is exactly what I did.
I mean, I wanted to see. All right, so let's just go with a couple things here because I'm trying to find fried mozzarella.
I mean, that's just deep
10.
fried cheese. But even then, I want to give it like a 4.
Calamari.
10.
Calamari. I'll go ahead and give that like maybe a 6 or something because I've had calamari at other places that's not Italian food.
Bruschetta or bruschetta.
10.
Was that the fancy bread?
It's most of the time it's toasted little pieces of bread with tomatoes and olive oil and balsamic and basil and
Yes,
stuff.
the extremely stale bread that you chip a tooth on every time you eat it. That's a 0.
Let's see. Let's get it. Spaghetti and meatball ravioli.
Lindsay?
6.
Only if it's Chef Boyardee. Which actually his name was Chef Boyardee, but we had to Americanize it by saying
Give me your rating, Mr. Wikipedia.
1,
Tortellini.
4.
2.
Peppers and onions.
That's it. Like no sausage to put them on, or
Sausage,
anything?
peppers, and onions. It's typically
With like a
4.
bun, you know? I mean, I guess with the sausage, peppers, and onions.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin, and happy 33rd birthday to porn star Cassidy Klein. She has earned rave reviews in Hands on Mom, He Won't Wake Up, Promise, and Naturally Nasty. She's also a fetish artist and financial dominatrix.
What did you say the first movie was?
Hands on Mom.
Ew.
I know a couple of moms I like to have my hands on.
Yeah, the other way around, though.
Right.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Hey, good morning. Don't forget to join me for Rock of the River Fest. It is a music festival down at Sparrow Hot Campgrounds in Tahlequah. We're going to float the river, and then we're going to party your asses off all night long, all weekend long. You can get the details at rocktheriverfest.com. That's RAWK, theriverfest.com.
All right, let's do our top 5 songs.
Italian's at the bottom of that list for me, man.
Somebody texted in and said, you think Zio's is delicious? You got to try Luigi's and Sky Took. So authentic. I think it's run by the actual Italian mob. I've had Luigi's and Sky Took. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. I like, it's not like I go to Zio's and I order one of everything.
Right.
Right? I worked there after college, and their 5-cheese pasta, adding chicken to it, was so good.
Yeah.
Their spinach artichoke dip, which isn't Italian, whatever, but it was so good.
Mm-hmm. I just like the brown paper on the tables that give you crayons.
The cannoli, yeah, I know how to write my name upside down. Cannoli, with the Alfredo and the chicken stuff, so good there.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you the Italian dish, the cannoli. That's delicious, just because it's cheese and powdered sugar.
No. That's the dessert.
I know.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
That's the only Italian food that I really like is a good old cannoli.
We haven't gotten to the real one. Pizza.
I've said it before, and you all thought I was crazy.
1 to 10.
1 to 10, a pizza. That's going to be a 3 for me. So low on the scale, man.
Lindsay.
10.
Yeah.
Always.
Pretty much all those except peppers and onions that we've mentioned are about anywhere between an 8 and a 10 for me.
Really?
See, I love peppers and onions. I don't love the heartburn, but man, it's almost worth the heartburn for me.
A good bolognese pasta.
Well, Italian food. They are the Beatles for me.
A nice short
food.
short rib braised ragu.
Ragu, the sauce in a jar.
So it's just no. So good. I'm telling you, man, Italian food.
Man who killed Kevin Bacon charged with first-degree murder.
You mean 5th degree?
6th degree?
6th degree?
Yeah. So this happened in Michigan. A judge has decided that Mark Latunsky will face a charge of first-degree murder after a degree hearing. The murder degree hearing for Mark Latunsky continued for a second day. This happened last Wednesday. He admitted to killing and mutilating Kevin Bacon, who is 25 years old. In court, he accepted a plea into open murder. The hearing was for the judge to determine if Mark will be sentenced for a charge of first-degree or second-degree murder, and the judge decided on the former. Back in 2019, Kevin Bacon, his body was found in Latunsky's home. He and Kevin Bacon met on a dating app, according to investigators. Kevin's body was hung upside down with a slit throat, according to police. Investigators also say that the man's testicles were removed and eaten.
This is a thing. How many stories have we read about castrations?
Yeah. At least a small handful that I can think of. I didn't even mean to do that.
I know you didn't. I could tell just by the way you delivered it. Yeah. It feels like we've read, it happened here in Oklahoma.
Yeah. Some guy come down to meet two other guys, and they end up cutting his balls off or something like that.
Yeah.
Is it for fun, or are they, trying to prove a point? I don't get, because me personally, I would never chop my balls off for fun.
No.
Is it a Moussa Muffin thing? Like you go for a little BDSM, just like tightening, and then there's some menacing people out there, like, I'm just going to slice them off.
Right. Let's see how far we can take this train. Okay.
That doesn't. I cannot piece together these stories. This is one of the stories we do that I'm like, I don't get it.
Right.
I don't get why it happens. I don't get the people that are up for it.
Yeah.
Not that this was a willing participant. We don't know that part.
Right. The only thing that I can think of is obviously there's some kind of mental issue where the person whose balls are chopped off maybe has like a sex addiction or something to that effect, and they think that that's the only way that they can get over it. The only way that they can cure themselves is to cut off that part of the body. Yeah. So therefore, they won't have that sexual desire anymore. Whether it's raping babies or
like
just,
dogs.
Yeah, that too.
The idea that that's what you do to dogs, so they don't they don't want to hump.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think this is more of a Jeffrey Dahmer situation where the guy, they met on a dating app. The guy came over to the guy's house, and he ended up tying this guy up.
Yeah, I'm not buying that, because then there would be more. This isn't. You know what I'm saying? You don't go. I understand there's a first time for everything,
right.
But you're not going to be like, well, I think next time I'm willing to take a step further, get the skillet out.
Ooh.
Right?
I wonder
That's
if
also
these taste like.
It's also an important feature. Did he cook them, or did he eat them raw?
Right.
Because eating a heart of a deer is not an uncommon thing. Sometimes straight out of it, sometimes cooked.
Right. Even your Rocky Mountain oysters, bull balls, bull butter. People eat those, but they don't eat them raw.
They don't eat them raw, right?
As far as I know, they don't. If you do, that makes you a little weird, and I don't think we should be friends anymore.
The idea that these two crazy people found each other, if that's the case, God, the universe is insane.
Imagine the life they could have had if he would not have died.
I think they had the life they imagined.
He just ended up dead and ballless.
I think we don't know the motive of the other person from the story.
Yeah.
But that sounds like that was the motive of this guy. He literally was like, whatever you want to do, Judge.
Right.
Apparently, and I dug into this guy a little bit. He had a master's degree. Like, he was pretty, he was...
The Unabomber had a master's. He was, come on.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Did you get that online nowadays?
Sentencing for him will be held on December 15th.
I saw a thing yesterday online. I don't know if it's true, but you know how they caught the Unabomber? They caught the Unabomber. He was such an elitist. Like, he thought he was so much better than everybody else. He couldn't stand the phrase, have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
And because he's like, that makes no sense. He was like, you can't have your cake and then enjoy it, like some other phrase.
Yeah.
And so he wrote this manifesto that got printed in the paper. And his sister-in-law, who always thought he was a little off his rocker, was like, I think this is your brother. Went to her husband, and he looked at it and was like, I don't think so, and then read the line that his brother was one of the only people who ever said, you can't have your cake and then enjoy it as well.
Right.
Oh.
It's like,
And that's how they
okay.
got him.
Wow.
Ooh, damn it. Ted Kaczynski. Man busted for beating.
Also, he was one of the people that did the acid experiment where they gave everybody a bunch of acid to see how they would
yeah.
react.
Okay.
And he went crazy, and he never forgave them.
Well, that would make sense, but no reason to go and send bombs through the mailbox.
Yeah,
Just saying.
universities and bombs and airplanes.
Right.
The Unabomber. A doll feels a little too childlike.
Right.
Any kind.
Yeah.
Right.
Any
the-
kind.
The obvious, the sex dolls would
The
be.
word doll
Right.
is what negates it for me.
Well,
Right.
So toys, they have sex toys. Toys are for children.
No, they also have toys for adults.
Like
Drills.
Right.
Okay.
Big boy toys.
Big boy toys.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And for the big
Beach
girls,
toys.
Yeah. Okay.
Lake toys.
Okay.
Toys is synonymous across the board. Dolls, 94% associated with children, specifically
Yes.
girls.
Okay.
So it's a little bizarre.
A little weird. To each is their own.
To-
I'm not going to spend $2,700 on one of those real live looking sex dolls. That's just for
I'll
me.
take the bait. How much would you spend?
Yeah.
What is your top out
My top out
on sex dolls?
If I was to purchase a sex doll, now obviously, yeah, you could go and get one of those $50 jobbies that they always look surprised or whatever. But I would like to have, if I was going to get one, it would be one of those real dolls, right? But I'm not. Maybe $1,000, maybe $1,000, and that's a lot. That's a lot,
right,
man.
Let me. I can speak gimpy. He is not saying he would spend $1,000 on it.
Right.
Okay.
He's saying gun to the head.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Right. Absolutely.
I think if he were going to buy one, that would not be the price point he'd shop at. He's saying if he had like the most,
Right.
it would have to be a utopian world. Probably would have had won $1 billion lottery. Like,
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, if I'm winning a lottery, then yeah, I want to get the high end one, man. Spend, $3,500, get everything that feels real, maybe one that's like got AI and can
If you
talk
won
back
the-
to you a little bit.
If you won the lottery, you wouldn't need to buy a sex doll. You'd have women lined up if you won the lottery.
not if you you don't trust people and you don't want them around. You think all they want is money.
Boom. That real life sex doll ain't taking me to the cleaners. I'll be taking her to the cleaners, but she ain't taking me. Nay.
Do you take a job as a rich person sex toy cleaner?
No.
How much are we getting paid? That's the real
Minimum wage.
question.
Minimum wage.
I'm not getting paid $7.50 to go
Everybody needs a job.
to go scrub out some rich person's sex doll.
Okay, but you get to, sorry. However, you then get to be in their house when they're not there, like as a house
I
caretaker.
get to use all their
Yeah,
luxuries, so
yeah.
that means I get to drive the cars.
Probably not the cars, but you get to use their house.
Nah, I'm out then. If all I get is one room.
No,
and I
like
get
they're
to
not
use the-
there, so you can have the kitchen, you get to do the pool, like whatever. When they're not
Absolutely.
there, you're the caretaker.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be able to sleep in their luxurious bed with their 1,000 thread count Egyptian cotton
Sure.
sheets. You
They're
see what I'm
not.
saying?
Yeah, but they're not putting a futon
Right.
in your room.
Even then, if I don't have access to all the amenities that you have, we're talking, cars, boats, jet skis, private, planes, whatever, then I don't want any part. I would, if I had access to all that, sure, I'd do it for minimum wage. Why not?
Yeah, young me, access to all that stuff. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, every job's got hard days. I've told the story. I was a dog walker in San Francisco. The only difference between that job and any other job is I put the crap in my hand. That's the only difference.
Exactly.
Every job has bad things you got to deal with.
Absolutely.
And that one just happens to be the job.
Right. So, I mean, it is what it is. But look, I get to throw house parties, when they're gone, invite my friends over.
I mean, you're jeopardizing your job at that point.
Absolutely. But, hey, ride the wave while you can, right?
I saw that there's a sex toy, because I have remote control sex toys, but it's always been like a handheld thing.
Right.
Now they have it's like an app on your phone connected via Bluetooth, and you can do all these like finger like drawing things on it, then transfers to the sexual device with the woman. And I'm like, that's really fascinating. So then I went down the rabbit hole of weird sex toys.
Okay.
They have a rose quartz crystal shaped phallic looking sex toy.
Okay.
So it's, you know what quartz is, right? It's like countertop.
Yeah.
Very similar to granite, except it's man made. Very shiny, heat resistant, but heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh, okay, I'm the only one that thinks that's weird.
It
Okay.
is weird and probably expensive.
$200. Big T's Rub My Ducky Classic. It is for the bathtub. It is a sex toy that looks like a rubber ducky and has a vibration to it. So think of the bill and all the other angles that are on it. Another one, a vibrator in the shape of a hammer.
Whoa.
Whoa. Really puts the meaning to pound it, huh?
Going to Pound Town.
Oh, God.
A tentacle dildo.
I have seen those.
They're so scary.
Weird looking, right? And I'm like, why?
This is one for guys. I've never seen this before. It has a name. It's called a godemeki. And it's a tube. It's got threads for you where you can hold it like laces almost, like a football. And then the inside's dimply.
Yeah.
A steel faux foxtail plug.
Okay. Those tails are nothing new.
No, but this one looks exactly like a tail.
Oh, my goodness.
A corn on the cob vibrator.
Corn on the cob for the country girl.
It's gone.
It's got
I'll
the
tell you all
juice.
about it.
Yeah. That's exactly what I thought when I saw it.
Goodness.
Corn on the cob. I gotta look.
Yeah. It makes sense if you think about the attachments that are with it.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? Like the dimpling and bumps and all that other stuff.
Usually dimpling and bumps is not something you want to mess with, right?
Right.
You need to go see a doctor and get those bumps removed.
Some of you may have grandparents that they have like special china in some case in the dining room that's white with blue patterns on it.
Yeah.
The blue willow china.
Sure. This is a butt plug that looks like that.
Oh my goodness.
Honey, it's special anniversary night. Break out the fine china.
Yeah.
Another one, the penguin.
Uh-oh.
And it looks like a penguin whistling. And the part that would be the mouth of the penguin would apparently be where the magic happens for ladies.
The Satisfier penguin. Oh, hey, look at that. A little bow tie and everything.
The Nerd Climax Dragon Finger.
Oh, wow.
This is a sex toy that goes on your finger, and it is the shape or has the look of a like a dragon's claw. Hey, listen, lid for every pot, whatever you got.
What?
When we were in school, we had a thing. There were like these rubber balls with handles, and you would jump on them, right? And you would have races with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is that, except it is for the ladies.
That's so weird.
It's a Swiss ball dildo. Gimpy has shown me the one he has before, which I ran, and this is the accommodator.
The accommodator.
If you're familiar with that chin strap.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do. And then probably the mildest one on this list would be the Clone a Willy dildo kit.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those before.
Pretty mild.
Yeah. Thought about using it, you know.
I don't know how it would work.
What do you mean?
So have you ever seen like in Hobby Lobby, they have those plaster Paris where you make the plaster Paris of like you holding your
Yes.
baby's
Absolutely.
hand, or like you put your kid's foot in it.
Yeah, I did that in art class with my little hand. I know exactly what you're talking
Fantastic.
about.
That would be this, except it comes in a tube, and the idea is you do what you have to do, and then you do the mold, and then it sets, and then you. I don't hair.
Yeah.
Two, any sort of deviation from what's happening in a sexual moment for me, it's over.
Right. So your dildo would come out all weird and deformed, pretty much, basically.
Or smaller than the representation.
Well, what am I going to do with this thing, huh?
And do you tell people it didn't work? Like, I couldn't do it.
That's why you read the reviews first, right?
And I don't know anybody that's done it, so I can't. I know they sell them,
Oh, yeah.
so I'm sure someone's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, it was great."
I'll get one over the weekend, put one together, bring it in for you Monday.
You don't have to bring it in. You could just give me the verbal review.
Drunk Florida man kicked out of bar, returns and attacks bar owner with belt. This happened last weekend in West Palm Beach. A 37-year-old man kicked out of the bar for being too intoxicated, but quickly returned wielding a firearm, according to an affidavit. Fabio Lano Sanchez, arrested by Palm Beach Sheriff's Office. According to records, he was released on last Wednesday with a $60,000 bond amount. He arrived to the area on July 23rd around 2 a.m. The owner of the bar said that he shows up, he was a little drunk, then he got too drunk, and he started harassing customers. So they asked the man to leave. He left to his car but came back with a firearm. He pointed it directly at the bar owner and said, "I will shoot you." And then he threatened to shoot the bar's security. Well, then Sanchez decided, I'm going to just take off my belt, and started swinging it at the bar owner. He hit him multiple times. A security guard began fighting with the suspect, and the bar owner began fearing for his life. He told deputies that's when he called 911, and they showed up, arrested him, said he was going to kill everybody. The owner had an injury on his finger from the belt. The guy himself did not have any injuries. The suspect had some scrapes and bruises on his face in his mugshot, though.
That's a very underrated weapon.
Absolutely.
A belt is, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you could do some damage with a belt. Trust me, I know. But to use it in like a street fight is not something you see every day. You hear about guns, knives, crowbars, baseball bats. I appreciate this guy for whipping out his belt.
Yeah, if you're good, like that whole towel whip, you know, that people,
Yeah.
if you can do that with a belt.
You could whip the ass out
Yeah,
of somebody. And you don't even have to
especially if it's
towel
leather.
whip them with it. You could whip them like a slave. Whap! You know, right across the face. That's going to
Get
hurt.
the buckle.
Oh, yeah. Well, the buckle's good for handle.
Oh, that's true.
I guess I think of the scene from Indiana Jones
Okay.
when Jones is in the street and the guy is the sword and he goes,
He's all over here.
and he just pulls out his gun and shoots him.
Right.
So
Well, everybody knows you don't bring a belt to a gunfight. However,
apparently you do.
the owner didn't have a gun.
One of them had a gun, right?
Yeah,
The
he did.
bad
He
guy
had-
had a gun, but he
Yeah.
decided not to use the gun. I'm going to go a little bit lighter. I'm going to take my belt off and whoop him like a step kid. Quote unquote Christian woman arrested at a splash park. This happens in Ohio, where cops were called out to the Cedar Point Shores Water Park there in Sandusky. All right, they say that a woman that describes herself as a Christian and a grandmother was arrested because witnesses told her that she called a child a brat, a fat ass, and then pushed him off a floating toy.
I mean, brat,
Right.
fat ass.
And then pushes his tubby ass off the floating toy. Get out of here, fatso. Yeah. So they show up to this water park because this elderly woman, she's 67, and she's picking on this kid. They talked to the mother. Her name's Jennifer. She told them what was going on. And she fingered the 67-year-old woman. She's over there. The cops go over there and they talk to her. They're like, what's your name? And she says, I am Jennifer Lee Miller. And then she gives them an address, a date of birth, phone number, all the information they're looking for. And she admitted to calling the kid a brat, but she denied swearing at the child and says that she never touched him at all. She says that she's a good Christian woman and a grandmother and would never do such a thing. Anyhow, other witnesses contradicted what Jennifer had to say. And that's when the cops are like, listen, Miss Miller, if we have to come out here again, we're going to arrest you for disorderly conduct. And that's when Jennifer's like, okay, fine, whatever. So the cop leaves. And then I guess something clicked in the cop's brain like, something didn't seem right about this whole situation. So he goes back to the water park. And I guess Jennifer, Ms. Miller, the 67-year-old lady that called the boy a fat ass and a brat and pushed him off the float, she gave him a fake name, a fake address, and a fake phone number. Right. That just went to busy. I guess the cop tried to call the phone number, and it's all ding, 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 ding. Sorry, you're busy. Anyhow, so they go back and talk to her about it. And she said that she didn't have an ID and that she felt she was being harassed by the police. She eventually admitted her name was Janet Nail, and they took her in for obstruction.
I love when people use whatever thing to validate their behavior or to invalidate their behavior. Like, I would never do that. I'm a teacher.
Right.
I would never do that. I'm a woman.
Right.
I would never do that. I'm a family man. I would never do that. I'm a veteran. I would never do that. I'm a Christian. Like, settle.
People are people, man. People
Yes.
do crazy, stupid things.
Those behaviors or those traits hardly make you incapable of doing bad stuff, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. You can still be a good Christian person and be a douchebag.
Yes.
Texas woman attacked by snake and a hawk. There's this gal. She lives just outside of Beaumont. Her name's Peggy Jones. And Peggy's out there mowing her lawn last week on her rider, just minding her own business. And out of nowhere, the snake falls from the sky, lands on her, and then wraps itself around her arm, right? Ooh. So here's Peggy mowing her lawn on a hot Texas day with the snake around her arm. She's flailing it all over the place, trying to shake the snake off of her arm. Okay, that sucks. But then out of nowhere comes this hawk and swoops down on her and starts attacking the snake, trying to get the snake, right? So she says the snake swooped down on her like 4 times. Eventually, it ran off with the snake. It got the snake off of her arm and then flew off with its dinner. She said there was blood everywhere. She thought that she had been bitten. Her husband heard the commotion, comes out. Peggy, what the hell's going on? She told him what happened. He takes her to the ER. They treat her for the scratches and the bruises. Come to find out she wasn't bitten, but she did get close because she found some venom on the lens of her glasses.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. But nonetheless, Peggy's fine. She was treated. She went back to the house, and she considers herself to be the luckiest person alive to have survived such an attack. Not the first time Peggy was bitten by a venomous snake, though. She says she was bitten a few years back as well.
But I bet it's the last time she mows the lawn instead of her husband doing it.
Or she doesn't have a husband because he died suddenly.
Before the next lawn mowing?
Yeah,
Damn.
right. Crazy things happen.
Right.
Some women like mowing the lawn.
Yeah, I know. I enjoy it too. But, man, if that happened to me, I'd be like, this is why you're supposed to be doing this, not me.
So put me in danger.
Right.
Yes.
She did say that her old man, when they got back to the house, she got back on the tractor, but he stayed close and kept an eye on the
Because what's he going to do?
Right.
Duck!
Right. Stop. You see something flying, you just bat it out of the way.
No.
Yeah.
Wild brawl breaks out on dock among dozens of people. This happened out in Alabama on Saturday among dozens of people in a manic scene that mirrored a massive WWE fight, and it was all captured on video. Montgomery police have issued 4 active warrants as of Sunday, and more will likely follow as they review videos posted to X. Local NBC affiliates, station WSFA reported. About 7 p.m. on Saturday, a witness claimed that a group of boaters refused to move their pontoon boat so that the Harriet II riverboat could dock. The account was seemingly backed up by the Montgomery mayor. He said last night the Montgomery Police Department acted swiftly to detain several reckless individuals for attacking a man who was doing his job. Warrants are being signed and justice will be served. A shirtless man appeared to throw the first punch, running up and punching the dock worker in the face. The worker tosses off his hat as onlookers shout, and the two struggle before two more men jump in and punch the staffer. A woman can be heard yelling at others to help the employee. A man then runs down a ramp to the dock, and another jumps in the river and swims over to defend the worker. Several others walk down on the dock in support of the dock staffer, and the fight appears to end. However, another clip shows a group of people approaching the pontoon boat, and the opposing groups began throwing punches, pulling hair, and even tossing a woman into the water as bystanders then start shouting. And then there's a third video that shows even more people, both men and women, joining the fight. One man takes a folding chair, whacks a man, and then he whacks a woman with it, and part of the pontoon boaters over the head with it before officers grab him and cuff him. Officers also cuffed several of the pontoon boaters. The fight appeared to develop along racial lines as the boaters were white, while the dock worker and the others fighting against the boaters were black. And the police department said, as our police department investigates these intolerable actions, we should not become desensitized to violence of any kind in our community. Those who choose violence will be held accountable by our criminal justice system.
I mean, you can easily jump to the one subject was black, the others were white.
Right.
And make that I don't know if they were like, he's black, how dare him talk to us.
Right.
I don't know if that's what happened. It definitely is possible.
Right.
But it's one of these cases of drinking and boating, and you think the rules don't apply to you.
Yep.
There are no rules on the lake, bro. There's that video going around TikTok, like anything goes on the lake. Everybody who's driving is either drunk or 11, and people are just doing crazy, stupid stuff. It's the lake. Listen, I'm with you. There are rules, but it's seemingly there's no rules on the lake.
Let's just go with that's true. You weren't on the lake. You were docking.
Right.
Which means you were on someone's property.
Right. Now back to rules. No rules on the water, but you got rules on land. You better follow them.
And if you're gassed up and this riverboat, giant riverboat, needs to come in and dock, they're on a tight schedule.
Right.
So
who cares
move
about
your
a schedule? It's my boat.
Yeah.
Right.
Move your pontoon ass out of the way.
I don't have to move my Triton.
Road rage leads to fight with spray paint. This happens down in Houston, where there's a dude. His name's Dave Winston. He's driving down the road on his phone, not paying no damn attention, kind of weaving in between lines. And so the people on the road call up the cops, and before the cops get there, Dave's at a stoplight, still on his phone, not paying any damn attention. So the light turns green. The guy behind him honks his horn. And Dave's like, what the hell, man? And they start yelling back and forth. They take off eventually. Well, while they're driving down the road, old Dave starts throwing stuff at the truck that's behind him that honks horn at him, yelling and cursing, rabble, rabble, rabble. They get to the next stoplight, and when they get to the stoplight, that's when Dave gets out with a can of white spray paint. And he uses that to go spray paint the face of the driver behind him that he's fighting with, along with his truck, spray painted his car, and then use that same can of spray paint, break the back window. There you go. So then, the guy that honked his horn at him, it's not sure. Nobody really knows what happened here, whether he had his own can of white spray paint or he used the same can of white spray paint. But he goes and takes a can of white spray paint and sprays Dave's face with it. So now you got these two people pissed off at each other, white face spray painting, right? Cops eventually come out. They determined that Dave was the asshole aggressor in this one, and they took him in for felony criminal mischief.
What?
Yeah.
The pictures are amazing.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't get it
How
either.
do you get that close to somebody that can spray paint you?
Right. I guess he did.
That good.
Right. Didn't think he was going to do anything about it. People get mad. They get all up in your face and, but if I see somebody coming at me with a can of spray paint, that's a weapon at that point.
Listen,
Yeah.
I could see it like you're going to get like part of my face or on the side or something. but they look like they've been antiqued.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So I don't know like how the
Maybe had a wide nozzle on it, that kind of sprays broadly.
they have a pill for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the heat's got everybody acting crazy.
Oh, I'm telling you.
That is those pictures are unbelievable, man. They are some of the more spectacular photos we've had in a while. Italian cheesemaker dies after being crushed by rounds of cheese. An Italian cheesemaker is dead. He got crushed by all the cheese on the wall. The Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. Joining us in the studio is our friend Justin Gorski from the Tulsa Drillers. Hey, buddy.
Hey, good morning to you.
So, first off, we need to talk about congratulations are in order because you guys came in at number 34 in the Tulsa World's 50 Things in Tulsa. The Boomtown dog showed up
Very nice.
on their
Very
list
nice.
of things that people are talking about around Tulsa.
Okay.
This massive hot dog that I don't know if there's anything like it anywhere. It's 1 pound hot dog, 2 feet long, got all the good condiments, and then 3 pounds of fries.
Watching people try to eat this thing is hilarious. Just watching them walk through the ballpark with it, it's supposed to be to feed multiple people. But we've had people numerous times. We'll get like 3-4 guys all come together and grab a couple beers. They're like, all right, well, let's see who can finish it. No one's done it yet that I know of, at least.
Well, and I don't want to say $32 isn't money, but $32 for that much food is a hell of a deal.
You could easily feed a family of 4 on that. Easily can feed that.
Well, congratulations for you guys
Thank you.
being on that.
That's awesome.
And we got to talk about the Tulsa Drillers. And if you don't go see Dalton Rushing play soon,
Yes.
you might not get to see him
Yes.
play. This kid's going to be a star.
Absolutely.
He is a stud. This is one of the top prospects from the Dodgers that's playing catcher for the Tulsa Drillers. This man is on fire.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that you're going to see in the lights of LA very, very soon. He is the number 1 Dodgers prospect, and he looks like a ball player. He is, and honestly, as good of a ball player is, he's a better guy. He comes out, he helps with the kids' clinics, he signs autographs. Like, that's the kind of people that the Dodgers want in their organization, and he's going to be a superstar.
Yeah, there's a thing that says talent can get you to the professionals and character keeps you there.
Yep.
And this kid's got it all, man.
Absolutely.
He is a stud. So I just gave you 2 really good reasons on why going to a game at One Oak Field's so exciting. And then we top the news that you guys broke yesterday. So here's a third reason.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been so excited, and I kind of teased it a little bit last couple weeks I was on here. We are going to rebrand in August for 5 days as the Tulsa Raft Racers, and we are so excited about this. This has been a long time coming, 2 years in the works for this, and the logo and the look and the colors, and we've had so much fun, and we can't wait for the Tulsa's Great Raft Race to come back this year.
Yeah, the jersey is a life jacket, which is hilarious. It's not a real life jacket. It looks like a life jacket. The logo looks fantastic. And again, this is going to go down in August. Make sure you get your tickets at tulsadrillers.com. The other part of this is that when you guys make these special makeovers for a short time, the merch sells fast.
Yep. And we've had a ton of merchandise selling already. Go to tulsadrillers.com. Come down to the team store this week for the games, and you can get all your merch there. It's limited edition. We're going to run a couple different things. We'll have some new things as we get closer to the games, too. But get your merchandise now while you can. This has been so much fun, and we've had a blast with it.
Tulsa Drillers are in action at One Oak Field this week. Make sure you go and get this gigantic hot dog and see one of the future stars of the Dodgers playing. All the future stars, really, of the Dodgers playing. And then tonight, Bark in the Park comes back.
Yeah, it's our first Bark in the Park of the year. It's going to be great weather for the dogs out there. Come on out. Dogs are free to get in. Just got to have a ticket for the human best friend that brings them in there. Enjoy it. Plus, it's $3 White Claws for fans 21 and up. So it's a great time. Bring the dogs out. Should be an awesome night.
Yeah, and tomorrow night, a special night happening, not just because it's a KMOD night and not because it is Thursday drink special night, but it's Military Appreciation Night.
Yeah, with Memorial Day just happening there, it doesn't go lost on us, the sacrifice that our men and women make that serve. So with our friends over at Eagle Ops and KMOD, we want to make sure that we do Military Appreciation Night. So if you come down, you show your military ID, whether you're active or a veteran, you get 2 free tickets to the game on Thursday night. We'll be doing 1,000 camo Drillers flags when you get in there. drink specials all night long. Our friends over at Eagle Ops, I don't know if you guys know who Eagle Ops are, if you guys work with them at all, but they're a local organization that helps veterans get together and do activities together, and there's resources for them to help out to really make sure that they have a community, and they're doing amazing things here in Tulsa and around the country. So we're very, very proud to partner with them and have Military Appreciation Night on Thursday.
Yeah, and usually when they do a thing that's done with veterans, it's like you get one meal or you get one ticket. You guys aren't doing that. Show your ID, whether you're veteran or active, you get 2 tickets.
Yep. Come out and enjoy the night. It's going to be great. King Cabbage, the brass band will be there. Our house band will be out there on Thursday night again. So get there early for the camo flags. These are going to go very, very quickly.
Yeah, they look very cool. You guys do the flag every year. This year's looks even better than the year before. And we've got family 4-pack of tickets we're going to give away, 460-KMOD. Talk to Gimpy to get those. Friday night, early start because of a doubleheader and fireworks night.
Yes. So we're starting at 5 o'clock on Friday. It's 2 games for the price of 1. So it's a 2 7-inning doubleheaders. Get there early. Enjoy. And if you can't get there at 5 o'clock, get there at 6, whatever it may be. If you have tickets to Friday night's game, that gets you both games. So it's just basically free baseball there. It's almost also Muskogee Nation night. So we'll be wearing these awesome custom Muskogee jerseys. Those look very, very cool. They're going to have a bunch of the vendors out there. We're going to sing the national anthem in Creek. They do a great job with this every year. And then, like you said, huge fireworks show after the game.
Yeah, after the second game.
Second
we want to make sure that that's clear.
Absolutely.
Don't think. Yes. After the first one. And then you guys are in action again on Saturday, as that is another fireworks night.
Yeah, huge fireworks again that night. But prior to that, we got Beer Fest going on again. So the second Beer Fest of the year. The first one was awesome. We had over 250 people out there. All the local brewers are out there. Sky took Paws and Claws, had like 25 adoptable dogs and puppies, and it was just such a cool experience. So get your tickets. It's just a $20 add-on to your ticket there. Come out and you can get 2.5 hours worth of samples all night, and then a huge fireworks show after that.
Yeah, and if it sounds like you guys aren't busy, Sunday might be the busiest day on the calendar for the whole year that's going on at One Oak Field. That game is going to start at 1 o'clock. You've got all the things that we know you guys do on Sundays with the kids' skill clinic, which is a big deal. It doesn't have to be baseball. Baseball or softball, your kids can participate in that. We've got Hornsby's Hangout that is free at the Quick Trip Hornsby's Hangout. That's very cool. But you have so much other stuff happening.
Yeah, sunglasses for the first 500 kids that get there. All kids get to eat free. Kids can run the bases afterwards, courtesy of Delta Zone. The splash zone will be open if it's a beautiful day out there. And then really, really cool, one of the things that we do annually is we do this senior high school showcase, senior all-star game. So basically high school baseball seniors that have basically graduated, we let them come out and play an all-star game at the stadium. So their families get to see them in their uniforms one more time. They get to play after the Drillers game. They can come out and enjoy it. So it's a really cool event. We want everyone to hang out afterwards, and it's just a cool way for us to say thank you for all the support and all the fun, and just a great thing for the kids.
And it's Lou Gehrig Day. That's to recognize ALS and stuff like that. So a lot of stuff happening at One Oak Field. TulsaDrillers.com to get your tickets. Get out there, buy them, go experience One Oak Field. Even if you're moderately into baseball, it is an amazing experience with the backdrop of downtown Tulsa. Great food, good fun atmosphere, good games. I'm really enjoying seeing the highlights of the inflatable ball thing where you guys are bouncing people off the field and stuff. It's a lot of fun happening at One Oak Field for the whole family. Make sure you get your tickets, TulsaDrillers.com. Justin, thanks for stopping by.
Appreciate it.
Take a break and we'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show is coming right.
Stupid show, Pawn Stars, and they bring in super rare things.
Right.
And even they're like, it's not worth that much. So I don't know why a bunch of magazines would be worth $20,000. I think some of these stories get so over glamorized to make them sound sexy.
One junk removal company found weapons. We took out some old furniture, including a large desk from a man's house. We were finished and drove to the transfer station. As we dumped our load, the desk came sliding out and hit the concrete. It broke apart, and lo and behold, a .357 Magnum revolver comes tumbling out.
I'm surprised by these dumpsters that take on full pieces of furniture.
Yeah. It's a junk removal company. So
it's probably like cleaned out house.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got a buddy of mine that works for local trash company, and he finds weapons all the time. He's found knives and guns and stuff, and yeah, that doesn't surprise me any.
Does he have to alert the authorities if it's a gun?
You know that? I don't know. I didn't ask. You think that would be something to ask, but I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
in case
that's
it's
cool.
stolen or part of a crime.
That would make sense, yeah.
Kelly Sarber, the president and CEO of Strategic Management Group. Trash cans aren't the only places where creepy things are lurking. It's fairly frequent that we have homeless people mistakenly fall asleep inside a dumpster and delivered to a landfill or other processing facility.
Did you say common?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know it happens.
Fairly frequent, she says.
Yeah. Same trash buddy. Same buddy that's trash, man. He's a good friend. He's not a trash buddy of mine, but same thing. He's had bodies roll out, people, homeless people that have fallen asleep in there. He has lifted up trash can to dump it, right, and found prostitutes back there at work. Behind the trash can, working. People doing drugs and stuff back there. So, yeah, that's another not really surprising at all.
Yeah. One guy says, I worked at a medical waste factory where we would find amputated body parts and bins full of blood and used needles. Yeah. Cold hard cash. I found $4,000 worth of cash in a cereal box once.
Nobody will ever look in the tricks.
Yeah. Local gypsies had been cleaning out their caravan and threw out the box of cash by mistake.
Did you say gypsies?
Yes.
Huh,
yes.
Okay.
We managed to find the box and rightfully return them their money.
I can only go with what I've seen happen with my trash being picked up.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't go through the trash.
Right.
They just dump it in the thing.
Yeah.
And on to the next stop, right?
Yeah.
And I would think when they dump it at the dump, they back up, open the hatch, dump, pull away.
Same, yeah.
That makes sense for like private residences because mostly in trash bags, and if there's anything that's too large to go in there, let's say a couch or lawnmower or something like that, usually go beside the trash can, not inside of it, So I can see why they wouldn't go digging through your particular trash, a private residence trash. But with public dumpsters, these big ones, we got people out here all the time dumping stuff in our dumpsters in the back parking lot here.
Yeah, but the Trashosaurus Rex comes and gets it.
Right.
They don't even get to see. Most of the time, they don't even get to see in it.
Right.
And again, they back up, dump. Never even seen the again from what I've seen. Maybe they do stand out beside it and watch it. But people that are trash people that are listening to the show have told us they don't get out of their rig.
Mm-hmm.
Only to open a gate to get to the dumpster is the only time they get out of their rigs.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what that day was like when the automated garbage trucks came through, like the day that they got those, or they were told they're getting those.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. Congrats to all the people that got tickets to go see the Drillers in action on Thursday. That camo flag giveaway, $4 Celsius, $3 16-ounce Bud and Bud Lights, $3 souvenir sodas all night long. TulsaDrillers.com to get your tickets. Lindsay, what'd you learn today?
I learned that lightning struck at a Metallica show during Master of Puppets, and it's a sure sign from God that he doesn't know a lot of Metallica, or he would have waited for Ride the Lightning. Also, Washington Commanders kicker Brandon McManus is accused of sexually assaulting 2 women on a flight last year, and his potential punishment from the NFL, having to play for the Commanders.
Gimpy, what'd you learn today?
I learned that the Sharks are going to start getting to be a lot thinner and more annoying. Hey, I didn't eat a human today. I had kelp instead. Shut up. I also learned dose your kids and save them from a nutless life.
I learned potholes, taxes. No. Transformer statues. That's what cities need. Mm-hmm. And I also learned hummus, the way to a shark's heart. It's Corbin saying make sure that dishwasher is loaded right.
It's Lindsay. Stop tracking my cycle.
This is Gimpy, and I'm sorry.
Yeah. Ready? Let's go. Can I get an encore? Do